Yeah, we got it that time, guys. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Soul City. I am Griffin Gaming RPG, and my apologies that we're getting start today, but the Gremlins, this I don't know, is it the Gremlins fast cart or is it the man? Which one is it that doesn't like us on Sunday nights?
Why can't we have both?
A little bit of both. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, guys, I'm Griffin Gaming RPG, and we're going to be first of all, before I go any further, let me introduce my co-host. We have Fastcart up above me. Fastcart, say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Wow,
Hi,
you
Hi, I'm
literally,
Fast
you
Card.
literally.
I'm also known. I'm also known as FC. I'm on a bunch of stuff. Happy Mother's Day.
All right, great. And below me, we have the infamous and famous Younique from Test Squadron. Younique, give everybody a hi, man.
Hola, ¿cómo está everyone? I'm Younique, also known as Akima Pliskin in the game if you ever want to hook up and run with us. Thanks for having me, Griffin. Looking forward
And
to this show.
and of course, everyone knows how to spell Akima. What is it again? They'll never be able to figure it out because you had to tell me how to spell it.
It's Akehma.
All right, so Akima, and for those of you who remember, we had Younique on the show a few weeks back, and one of the reasons why we bring him on is because he's a great resource. Because Younique is one of the original backers of Star Citizen. Yes, I mean original backers, like at the very beginning backers, the one who got that. What was it? You guys got that like card, that black card. What did you guys get?
We got a lot of stuff, but yeah, there's a black card that I don't think they issue anymore. One day I'll pull it out for you if you really want to see it.
Okay, yeah. So he's one of the
Yeah,
privileged few. What were you gonna say,
they got
Fast?
the golden ticket. They got the golden ticket. I have a black card, but that was from 2016. But
Yeah,
just
I've
happy about the black card.
yeah, I've got the reissue like you do, Fast Card. I didn't get the original, so
Oh,
anyway.
okay. I didn't know. I didn't know that wasn't the original. I just got it.
Well, I
I
want
forgot
to
all
say,
about the
what did you
golden
say?
ticket.
What did you say, Younique?
I forgot all about the golden ticket.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was back in the day, man. Well, listen, we want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. For all of you who are into Star Citizens, you have a mother at some point, so Happy Mother's Day to your mother. And it's been a busy day today for a lot of folks. We really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. If you're able to hang out with us for the whole show, that's great. Um, we're going to be talking about CitizenCon 24 this week, and we've been going back and looking at some of the previous CitizenCons, Games Cons, but from here on out, every month we're going to be taking on a CitizenCon, particularly because, as you guys know, CitizenCon was canceled for this year due to the virus. So,
Wait, what? It
yeah,
was canceled?
you didn't know?
No one told me about this.
You better hurry and get your money back, brother. Because it's over. It is not happening. And don't pay attention to Fast Cart because he was the one who probably told me first, I think. But it was canceled for this year, unfortunately. But there may be some silver lining to that dark cloud. Real quick, though, before we get into that, there were two things that happened this week inside Star Citizen ISC. They did this show called Night and Day, and they focused a lot on the lighting in the show. And Fast Card, I know Younique, you didn't get a chance to take a look at it yet, but Fast Card, any comments about what you saw in that show that really stood out?
I'm looking forward to when it's in game. They, I mean, a lot of games have it static static when it comes to day night cycles and stuff like that. So it's interesting to see an actual game like have it and the way that they're trying to implement it. So I'm looking forward to it, and yeah, it should be cool.
Yeah, for me, I was really impressed with how they were doing it, actually timed in with the day-night cycle, so it wasn't just a matter of lights just popping on and popping off, but they literally gradually would come on and go out. I think the best example we've seen of so far is at New Babbage when you go down to Wally's bar, because you literally see that room transform from what looks like almost not a food court, but it looks like a mall in the daytime in that area. But then at night, as the sun starts to set, you start to see the colors change in the room, fiber optics come on, lasers come on, and it turns into basically like a huge, major social disco, whatever you want to call it, club, right? I said disco. I know I showed my age, Fast Cart. Don't say anything. Don't you laugh either, Younique. I showed my age when I said disco, but it turns into a club, right? DJ, whole 9 yards, and the whole feel of that room changes. So we saw some previous ISCs where they were going to show like even the remote buildings on moons and stuff where the lighting would go off and on, so they would have a feeling of. They said so it doesn't look so static, just like a postcard, but that there's actually and then Friday.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm just imagining Griffin going to disco duck in the club now. But I also like in ISC how they had the demonstration with the light showing in the room, and they had these balls to detect the light, and how
Yes.
how the light travels, they go across the balls, and yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yes, definitely.
That sounds wrong.
Well, first of
But
all,
anyway,
I thought I was bad with disco, but you threw out Disco Duck, so you can't say anything about me because I don't know if anybody even remembers Disco Duck. That's really going back in the clock. That's really going back. Okay, and then Friday show. On Friday, Disco interviewed Macho, right? Pedro. And we hadn't seen Pedro in a little while. I think the last time we saw him was when ArtCorp came out. Yeah, when ArtCorp came out. And then again, he brought him back now because of New Babbage and Microtech. Again, every time this happens, the music is always just awesome. I was playing the other day and listening to the music as I was coming in, and it's amazing how it's sequenced in such a way that even when you're flying into the city, when you're on the tram, the new train system, there's certain sounds that kick in at certain points, that really are almost awe-inspiring. So any thoughts on Pedro's music? Younique, you can toss in because I know you've been playing the game. What do you think of how the soundtrack's going so far, Younique?
Well, the soundtrack's amazing. I mean, as long as the game hasn't crashed on me, which it does quite often, it's almost uh, painful. But
Yeah.
Pedro is a genius, in my opinion. I mean, he's just amazing. And I do love how the music helps you feel comfortable and at home in every place that you go. Even if it's a terrifying place, that helps you to feel terrified.
Yeah. It's interesting. He talked a little bit about, that's the first time I think I heard him say this. He gave some background about how he got into music, that his dad was into listening to artists like Vangelis, stuff that was like that Blade Runner kind of music. And so definitely, I remember when Hurston first opened up, that was the first thing that popped in my head was like Blade. It didn't sound like Blade Runner, but it reminded you of Blade Runner, and he talked about the influence that his father put on him, having him listen to all these different types of electronic music and stuff. He's translated that, and he definitely has some like Hans Zimmer to him, to me. So anyway, that was basically the two shows. Go ahead, fastcart. I put a pause in. I thought you were going to jump in, but you didn't jump in, so I figured.
Oh no, sorry. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at you on Twitch because I can't see you on Discord, so there's even more of a
Oh my god. Okay.
So that's why. Sorry about that. But yeah, so yeah, I watched ISC and he gave a lot of information about how he used his own voice in certain recording, and he's not really proud of his voice, but I mean, in music, it sounds great. And I listened to New Babbage, the song, like 10 times in a row because it sounds great. and the actual video that he had on his channel is like a minute long, so you have to go elsewhere to find a longer version, and it's great. I really like it.
It is good stuff. It really is. And, I like the fact that he talked about the different ways he gets inspired by music. There's a lot of pressure involved with doing the type of stuff because he, a lot of times, can't even cut the music until he's seen the visuals. And usually there's a clock ticking by the time he sees the visuals. So pretty amazing that he's able to come up with that. And I agree with Younique, man. He's just a genius with the composition. I mean, you can not have the game and just listen to his music, and it's great. Anyway, two good shows this week, guys. If you haven't checked them out, check out ISC and the Friday show. They're really good. We're going to jump in. You guys know we're going to be talking about, again, CitizenCon 2014. Fastcart, talk a little bit about, you said this show was important to you. Why was CitizenCon 2014 important to you?
I mean, when I first heard about the project in 2012, it was from my guildmate in Full Tour. And I wasn't really, I never played Wing Commander. I was more of a LucasArts guy. I played X-Wing and TIE Fighter and X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and all that stuff. So I would never, I didn't know the background or the history. It didn't hit me with nostalgia when I heard about Star Citizen. But fast forward into 2014, I saw CitizenCon 2014, and there's something in this presentation. I think I know. I haven't seen it since 2014, so it's been 6 years. But there's something in this presentation that maybe sign up and become a backup. And I can't wait to reach that point in the presentation.
And Younique, did you go to this CitizenCon or no in 2014?
I did not go. I happened to be on travel for business,
Okay.
but to me, it was a great milestone because that shows the progress of the game since I backed in 2012. It really shows that the game is coming along, and the amount of effort and the money that they're spending, made it seem that they are absolutely really trying to do it. Help quell a lot of the scam stuff in my mind.
Yeah, I will say this about this show, guys, and again, this is a long show, so I want to get into it before we hit the 7:30 mark here. One of the things that was interesting about the year 2014, and Younique knows this, Fastcart said he just got in. I had just got in too during that month. In fact, I think I had signed up in like early. I was following it through 2013. I signed up in 2014. The very first CitizenCon I watched. At the time, I didn't know all the controversy that was going on because previously 2014 was actually listed as one of those years that Squadron 42 was supposed to come out from the very beginning.
Right.
And so there's a transition, as you said, Younique. There's a kind of a change here because the project had grown in scope and had moved into a different space than just this one single player game that was going to come out. Also, another thing that was unique about this year is you can tell this was in LA, but you can tell that they were in transition. To me, this is the year that I actually count that I say when Star Citizen was really starting to be built. Fastcart will remember this. I think I know Younique will remember this. I don't know if Fastcart will, but you guys may remember there was this transition from companies like Behavior and some of the other companies where they had given out portions of different third-party contractors to work on Star Citizen, and after that they scrapped it. They ended up having to get rid of all that and kind of bring it all under the umbrella of CIG. So we're at the tail end of that. And this is where there starts to be this big flip on how the game is going to be developed.
Yeah, I remember watching CitizenCon 2013, and they had all these companies that I never heard about because by the time I joined, they were gone. So yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, well, without further ado, let's jump into it. Listen, if you're watching, I would suggest you get some snacks, get something to drink, because there's a lot to this particular show. The volume, and you guys remember in the early days, CIG was terrible on their presentations with audio and video. So this is a throwback to those days when we used to say, oh my God, what are they doing? Okay, so just giving you the heads up now. The volume issues are not on our end. It is the way they recorded the video. So we're going to jump in.
And I put the link in Twitch chat so people can follow along if you want to have a true volume on their end.
Yeah, if you want to torture yourself in stereo, feel free to click on it. Okay, here we go.
Louder! Oh my gosh. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for coming tonight. There's a bit of an echo. I think this might be the first live stream that we've gone on time. And does everybody like Star Citizen as much as I do? Of course it's fake. However, did you all get your goodie bags for all of you out there? If you check in your bag, please raise your hand if you got one of the golden tickets. Because you have won a dual XR9 285 sponsored by AMD. Come on, who's got him? There's 10 golden tickets and there's also 10 ships. I think there might even be one Vandal. Is that correct, Ben? Ben, where is Ben Lesnick? Oh. Anyone got one? Put your hands up. Yes, we have a winner.
You get a Vandal. You get a Vandal.
Okay, so on the, it should say where you go to reclaim your card, and please get that tonight. So if you can all put up your things so we can film that real quick. Are we ready for the show? Come on, let's hear it. Put your hands up in the air. Cheer. All right. Are we ready to cue the video?
Waving like you just don't care. No way.
Fade lights down. Play the video.
It's funny
Are we ready
because
to
while
cue the
CIG
video?
is learning how to put on these shows, our audience is also learning how to be a good audience.
I would have been terrible back then. Who am I kidding? I'm still terrible.
My name is Chris Roberts, and I would like to build a universe with you.
Fastcart would have been in the audience like, we saw this 2 years ago. What else you got?
Welcome to the stage, Chris Roberts.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to build a universe. I'm going to do a PC game like the old Wink Runners I did, which was if you've got a great PC, this is really going to show it off. You're not going to be able to get this experience anywhere else. I'm hoping that a lot of you want to be in this universe, because I do, and I want to play this game. Apparently, our site is having millions of hits and is overloaded, so everyone out there, please be patient. Okay, 6 million.
I have to wonder if that was a plant, you know, the thing crashing, whether it really did crash. Did it crash? Do you know what I mean?
It did crash. They didn't expect that.
Okay.
Remember, this is all Squadron 42, and that 6 million isn't the stretch goal for the PU.
Right. Right.
One day we
Remember being able to go to the
That's going to become much bigger. So in here is my office, and the idea is to try and have an open work environment so everyone can communicate.
That's one thing I'm going to miss about this year about not having CitizenCon is that I want to go on another tour. The last tour I was on was 3 years ago.
We are about to test the live client for the Hangar module. Here we go.
Remember that guy?
Oh, yeah. Wingman's Hangar.
I met him at that first con in 2017.
Control, you read me. Mission Control, you read me. Commander Roberts, Station Command, Boundary 42, come in.
I met him in
It's a module that
2016.
will allow you to create your own branded group identity on the website called an organization.
We are really the first game of this scope or this level that is 100%
Tablet is one of those three that has
funded and
survived
backed
the
by
purge
the people that
of
love
companies.
this kind of game and want to
They're
play this
delivering
kind
with
and more. They start mapping. That was amazing.
Oh, I'm still impressed with that.
Right?
That's actually the first thing I show people who are interested in the game.
I mean, it's its own mini game.
Why don't you take a look at what you've done for us? Take a look at where we are now. I feel like the head of the table. Pass the butter, please. Here right now is we've got these new tables here. This is the programming bit.
Look at that. It smells beautiful too. New. That new car smells.
Bit there. We got 6 desks down the middle. We're putting another pods of 4 here, so we'll be able to have plenty of artists here to build those beautiful ships we have to make.
The space, as you can see, it's in lovely disarray. There's stuff on the floor.
Right, Miss Hodge? It does look a lot different now. Look filled in for one thing.
Guys, so here are the bunch more guys already joining us. We have more joining us as well, but we're well into production.
Somebody needs to make sure that feature works.
What is that?
Oh wait, hang on, it's coming up.
Do you see what's on Travis's screen?
Whoa!
The deadline where you start to see all of these different systems getting pushed
Oh,
together.
remember those
pushed together,
days
pushed together,
when we thought
and
that
it
was
starts
coming
together
VR?
right in front of your eyes, and the rate at which it's coming together starts to accelerate and accelerate and accelerate, but you still have that hard and fast deadline, and so you're hoping that knee of the curve is fast enough to get you to where you want to be when you actually have to be there. That's probably the most scary part, is seeing it all come together and wondering, oh my God, is it fast enough?
Who's gonna kill me?
Yeah, welcome to your universe, Chris.
Hi, I'm Sandy Gardner. 24 teams begin a journey to become part of video gaming history.
The level of animation and detail and figuring out how things fold up and how they fit in and how they work was really impressive.
The exterior.
There was one of those designs that the fans liked a little bit better
ship
than the one that they picked for the Redeemer. I
Winner
can't think of the name of it. Was that one? maybe?
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the name of it.
But your guys' ship is so good that it kind of pushes our own internal artists, and they have to step it up and compete. So, well done, guys.
Hey everybody, welcome to Wingman's Hangar, the final episode. We're now transferring the show to a community show out in Los Angeles. All right, guys, well, that's kind of it. This is episode 72 at the final Wingman's Hangar. So, where are we gonna see him?
I think it's 72.
In the verse.
Yeah, I tried to go back and watch them. They're painful.
I bet they are. Around the verse. I'm missing
I'm
around the
joined by
verse.
a very special guest, Mr. William Lewis. Just yourself.
I'm James Pugh.
Round. I see them turn around plenty of times. Didn't dodge that one.
I did not.
I remember him.
Good morning. Welcome back to Bug Smashers. Put vodka in here.
Art gave in.
Right, they were in the Guinness Book of World Records. Okay. For being the most crowdfunded. No, let me correct that.
Thank you everybody for coming, and thank you to everybody who's online. Chris Roberts.
Hey guys! Last year we had an amazing Gamescom. There was about 1,000 people, and it was completely an overwhelming experience. This is even bigger, so I think it's a little more overwhelming. And now, the other thing we got is 2 new game modes. So, we got Vandal Swarm Co-op. So, the other big mode we're doing is the Murray Cup Racing. So, it's a whole racing game mode.
Remember when that was the thing, the Murray Cup? I wonder if people even play that
show
anymore.
you, which is the multi-crew sort of ship combat.
I think people play it for practice.
Yeah.
You still with the ship.
We're going to do a little demo. It's part of what we're working on. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to have on multi-crew.
That was Sean's big game claim when it first came out.
$50 million!
What poster is that? Oh, that's American poster, okay.
I'm still not a big Hornet fan.
I like the Hornet. I mean, I like the I like it. I have a Super 400, but I like it because it's tanky and it can take hits, obviously, because it's being tanky, and it could deal out some decent DPS.
Yeah.
And I'm not like
into the game.
I'm not like a boom and zoom type of guy. Go ahead, sorry.
Yes, it was the ship that got me into the game. That and the 325.
You got to speak up just a little bit, Younique, because you're kind of soft, buddy. I got you maxed out.
I'll up my mic.
There you go. That's better.
No, what were you saying?
Oh, I said the 325 and Hornet is what got me into the game.
Sorry, guys. When the music's going, it's that we get blasted out. So once the music's off, it'll be better.
I don't know if you heard me before. I was saying, remember, this is on the old engine too.
The artwork is still top notch. The concept art. This trailer did not look that dated.
This, my friends, is going to be good.
Hey everyone! How are we doing tonight? Good?
Broke!
So,
what?
Well, we've come quite a ways. It's amazing.
Spend all your money to get to the
Go back and look at what the Hornet looked in 2012, what it looks like now. So CitizenCon generally is sort of a celebration of what we've done the previous year, what we've achieved. So this year we're going to have a in-depth report from each one of the studios, and we'll talk about some things, and then at the very end of it we'll have a little surprise live demo and a few things on the way. So where are we going? There we go. All right. So the first studio that we're going to talk a bit about and show a little video is Santa Monica, which is the Los Angeles studio here.
Call it Los Angeles now.
Hello. I don't know if the LA team here, I think there's a bunch of you guys at the back. So they've been working very hard on pretty much everything, but the arena commander and the dogfighting was a large part of what we did, the multi-crew ship combat, and even contributed a little bit to the demo you'll see at the end of this session. But let's roll the video. Hey everyone, welcome to Santa Monica. This is 3rd Street Promenade, and it's where our Los Angeles development studio is. So just come with me, and I'll show you.
Is our staff out here jumping rope and playing
this
games?
Is our fancy Santa Monica abode. So come in with me. There we go. All right, this is where everyone comes to get.
They're very athletic.
So this is where we do a huge amount of meetings. Then up here is where the development area is. Here is the sort of main development area. This is where most of the engineers in LA and designers are based in production. Over here we have the cinematic section. So this is John.
Yeah, they outgrew this.
And Chris working on something that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've moved a couple times. Yeah.
Okay, so that's why it's called Santa Monica. So when did they move to the current location?
So our concept section over here. Francesca, who's our
I want to say that was
person.
2016, I think it was.
Our community section. We're editing in here, and here's Ben at his desk. I will let you guys.
More than 50 million.
One of the guys here at the offices tell you about what we did last year and what we are going to be doing next year.
Hi, I'm Alex Mayberry, executive producer on Star Citizen. I've been
See how many
focusing
faces you
on working with all the
recognize that are still
studios
around.
Cloud Imperium to get them moving forward on all the other modules of the
It's
game.
turbulent.
Travis Day, I'm the producer at Cloud Imperium
He's still
Games.
around.
On the game side, I've been focusing predominantly on Arena Commander, the ship pipeline, the items and components pipeline, as well as the FPS.
Hi, I'm Sandy Gardner. I'm the VP of Marketing. The past year, I have been doing all the marketing. I also oversee the customer service, which has been going really well.
I'm Paul Reindel, and I'm the lead engineer here in LA. This year, I worked on gameplay needs we're doing here in LA, but also big
Paul has
picture
changed a lot.
plannings for.
He looks a lot different now.
My name is Forrest Steffen, lead technical artist at Cloud Imperium Games.
He's still
This
around.
past year, we've been working on building all the tech necessary to create Star Citizen. Everything from what level the designers need to do in the engine, what world builders need to do, what artists need to make the art, functionality, gameplay.
I'm Dan Tracy. I'm lead technical designer, and I'm Bug Smasher's Tracy.
That's what's the name's
latest stuff that
brother,
we've been working on
Tracy.
actually is
Sean Tracy's
the
brother.
Legacy variant. So we wanted to actually pull in all of the setup.
In relation to Sean Tracy?
Yeah, that was Sean Tracy's brother.
And the Auroras.
Mark
Oh, yeah, that was just joking.
Yep.
So this year I've been working on bugs, and more bugs.
Hi, I'm Gurmukh Basin, and I'm a concept
I don't think I've seen
I've been
him.
working on quite a few ships. Now I'm currently working on the character.
I'm Dave Heddick. I'm lead writer.
He's
Last
around.
year, I've been
So we're talking
working
about this
on
guy.
A lot of Squadron 42 stuff.
I'm Ben Lesnick. I'm game designer and
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot I'm a little bit ahead of you.
The past year, about 2 years really, I've been working on building Star Citizen's community.
I'm Zan Bien.
Miss
I'm
Ben.
a HUD and user interface designer. So in the past year, I've been working on art for the ship HUD
And that
user
guy used to
interface.
work on
The accomplishment I'm most proud of really is
Oh,
putting
thanks,
all the
Shiver.
processes in place, getting
Shiffer
roadmaps
said he
in place,
Gurmukh
making
left
a
to
lot
go
of
to work on
progress
Star
all the
Wars.
modules.
Very
The
cool.
release of Arena Commander was really big for us.
I think I'd
It's
take that
something we've
job,
been
too.
working on since the inception of the studio. It felt really good to get at least the first iterations out there. There's just been a really good feeling to have that out live to the community. It's something we really want
Hey,
to
there's
do
our
to
little soul
everybody.
citizen, Kimmy.
I'm most
Welcome,
proud
Kimmy.
of the multi-crew ship working.
Hey, Kimmy.
the
I was gonna
physical
say, that was a
world
heck of a
inside
setup
the
you just
ship and
showed.
walking around while the
Mhm.
ship is flying and using the turret, and that was pretty cool.
I guess I'm just proud of how far we've come in 2 years with such an awesome community.
I think the thing that I'm most proud of is how all of the modules are actually coming together. It's quite exciting. I'm very proud of this team.
If there was one thing that I was most proud of, it's getting a game that
If there's
people
anybody
can
who
play.
knows all
To get
these names,
dogfighting,
Kimmy's the guy, guys.
people
If
can
he
now
says
race
somebody,
their
somebody, he
ships.
knows.
Our characters are basically these ships that are by far the most complicated assets that I've ever worked on in a game. And to be able to see all of that actually working in the game is pretty impressive. And it's definitely something to be proud of.
We had this weird bug where when you get into a cockpit, multiplayer only, the player could stand up randomly.
Is it me or is that
was
music in the
a very
background kind of hokey?
Annoying but fulfilling bug to fix.
The one that stands out the most to me is the Constellation Phoenix. The community
like it's
seems
out
to
of
love
Cracker
it,
Jack box
and
or something.
I'm definitely very proud of that.
It's sort of the whole thing. Seeing it from the inside out, it's just been, it's
I
been
still love
incredible.
that ship.
So I guess what I'm
never
going to be
mind, but I
most
still love
proud of is the fact that we kind of separate out all of our information into modular components, and this will allow us to easily iterate on the user interface going forward.
So this will probably be a bit of a transition year for us, where we move from working on what at the time was the flagship product of Arena Commander and really focusing on getting that out there to more of a supporting role as the Persistent Universe, FPS, and Squadron 42 and social modules start to roll out of the factory. We need to make sure that we are supporting them with the features that they need at the times that they need them.
So for the next year, my team here in LA will still focus on getting all the flight characteristics, getting the whole missile and radar system running, and all the other fun gameplay features we want to have in our dogfight scenarios.
There is going to be a lot happening this next year. We are looking at esports competition, a webisode series. Squadron 42 is going to come online, which I'm really excited about.
The things that we'll be contributing to most this year, and will be one of the funnest challenges and the big payoffs, is to finally have multi-crew ships. Finally get that moment to play with your friends in the same ship, I think is going to be pretty great.
What we're contributing here from LA is all the core mechanics for all the dogfighting. That ties in heavily with every other section of the game, so even the stuff with the FPS and how we're doing the troop deployments, you guys will be seeing quite a lot with how we tie in the ship boarding mechanics with the dogfight aspects, and then how that seamlessly transitions into first person.
The thing I'm most excited about working on, in fact, which I'm working right now on with Dan Tracy is signatures. They cover everything from how our items generate signatures for balance, to how missiles track onto things, to how your radar sees things.
I concept all the ships that we do in-house. At the moment, I'm definitely very excited for the Carrack. It's turning out really cool.
In the next year, we're going to be doubling down on communication.
He's talking about the Carrack back in 2014.
What's coming through around the verse, through the
yeah, that
forum,
was
through
one
comments,
concept
every way we can.
What I'm going to be contributing to Star
He must have
Citizen
been talking about the
next
picture was
year,
coming along good.
improving the immersion of your cockpits. All the cockpits are going to be fully functional and kind of this sophisticated piece of software that just feels alive.
The fact
I
that
forgot
we
to do
have
the
players
Griffin
backing
game
us
immersion.
and the ability to be open with our development and be transparent about what we're doing is really unique.
So knowing that all the backers are always like watching our progress, it's kind of scary, but on the other hand, it also like pushes very hard.
It makes you push yourself to a higher level of excellence, because the only people you're answering to are the players that you want to play your game. And it's really a lot of fun to be able to share our work in real time.
Just makes you kind of want to work harder and make sure that what you're doing is going to be fun for people to play and look as cool as it possibly can.
Having hundreds of thousands of fans be able to see the development process is a bit bewildering. However, I watch a lot of people play on Twitch, so I'm actually watching you guys also. So
I'm hoping that most of our community like what we do, and we certainly appreciate you guys.
It's amazing to be able to contribute directly to our audience that loves our game.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that quick insight into what some of the people here have been working on last year, what they're looking forward to working on this coming year, and what they found the most challenging and interesting about working on Star Citizen. It never ceases to surprise and amaze me. I mean, we're building this hugely ambitious game, and just the dynamic of doing it in such an open method and having such interesting and great feedback from everyone, and the potential to sort of flesh it out and detail it to a level that you normally wouldn't get to do is the most fun and enjoyable experience I've ever had making any game. And I can't wait till you guys get to run around and fly and explore the full universe, because all the elements that I can see sort of in various stages of production are all going to come together into this holistic, immersive world to adventure around, and I think it's going to be an experience unlike any other. Anyway, thank you for your time, thank you for your support, and well, see you in the verse. All right, so I'd actually like to bring Alex Mabry up on stage so you get to meet and see him besides just being in the video. So Alex joined us earlier this year from Blizzard, where he was there for 10 years, and is the executive producer on the project, and has really been helping, because we've grown from 7 people that pretty much were there in 2012 to probably by the time that we had the Games Con demo the first time in 2013, I think maybe we had about 30 employees and perhaps 20.
All right, that's the numbers, guys. So when people talk about the game being developed for 10 years, that's how many people they were working with in the beginning.
The one in Austin, Texas, the one in Manchester.
How much? What did he say?
And
How many
we also
people?
have external studios that are
7 people when they started, and about 30 in 2013.
You guys all know. But we'll be showing you some pretty awesome stuff they're doing in a few weeks' time. So we have none of their stuff here yet, but I think you guys are going to really like it. It's looking really great. Behavior, who's doing an amazing job up in Montreal. Turbulent, who also in Montreal are doing an amazing job on our platform. And of course, we have some other contractors. But where's Alex? Come here, Alex. So this is Alex Mabry. I can't actually see where our little. Can I get to our? There you go. All right. So this is what we're doing in LA. We've done a lot. Obviously,
You guys notice his mouse never
space
works.
combat is the focus and sort of the core system, and then overseeing the overall project.
Oh, his mouth.
We're also overseeing the ship pipeline.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean the ships
You mean the clicker?
are all being
Yeah.
built in
Yep.
LA. Some have been built in LA, some have been built in Austin, some have been built in Manchester, some have been built with our outsourcers. And we're also overseeing the first-person shooter production, and we're obviously doing community management with Ben, who you guys all know, and James Hugh, and the rest of the guys like Will, and which you'll meet a little later. But I thought, so you have a, where's your, go here. Yeah.
All right, can you hear me? All right.
Kimmy, if that's
So,
true, that
you
means
know, one thing I
Endeavor
thought is
is
kind of
older
interesting
than
because we're doing
the
development
rest of
very
them.
differently than I've ever done development before because we're incredibly distributed. I mean, we're between
So I don't know
well,
when
we have
the
people in China working on the game. We have
Funny Gold
people
was
anywhere across North
exactly what.
America, Mexico, Canada. Well, that's North America, but go on.
True.
I think the Merchant Man
Yeah, it's been all over the place.
wasn't really thought of until they had the stretch goal to add more aliens.
That's part of the challenge. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this is also different than anything I've ever done. And so, you know, typical sort of industry standards and practices don't always make sense in a distributed
Okay, so the
environment.
Measurement is 27 million.
You know, Chris's vision for this game is huge, as you all know. And so one of the challenges is sort of, you know, how do we get there? How do we achieve what Chris wants to achieve? And that's really what my job is about.
And he said the Endeavor was 2013 September.
But also look beyond that. Next week, next month, next year, 5 years from now, hopefully 10 years from now, and building the infrastructure so that we can continue to grow and build on this vision and achieve it and make sure that down the road everything is solid and there to make it all happen.
So, I mean, I think people probably don't appreciate this, but like in production, so production for us is sort of producers, associate producers, production managers, production coordinators, and they're the guys that sort of go to everyone's desk and say, where are you at on your task, track it, update it in, we use Jira, which is a task management software, which, you know, most other people don't like to use. Production people love it. Artists hate it. We can never get artists to update any of their own Jira tickets. But in the production department, I mean, we've got across the studios, how many do we have?
Oh, man. We've been hiring a lot, so it's probably dozen to 15.
Yeah, I mean, we got
hiring.
You and 3 other people. We've got Travis, Cami, Darian. Here locally.
In Austin, we have Jake Ross and Mark Hong, and now Jason Hutchins has joined us, and Jeremy Masker.
He's counting these people on one hand.
Tom Johnson.
Yeah, I was saying, I think this is back in the day. This is back in the day when he could count, he could name people
We're
by
actually
name.
building our production staff because as the game grows and as we hire more
now
people,
he has to say you and
producers
you
are kind of the
and
glue
you and
that
you
kind
and
of
you.
holds things together. We're the backstop. We make sure that things don't, you know, fall through the cracks. We're the ones coordinating all of this kind of chaos that happens in development and controlling that and turning it into a plan and making sure that everybody's on the same page. One of the tricks about being distributed is using the time zones to our advantage. I think one of the cool things is how in the UK, like we wake up in the morning and we have an email from the UK and it says, here's what we did while you were asleep and here's what we need you to do while we're sleeping. And then we do all those things and we give them a handoff in the same way so that we take advantage of the sun.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, it's. I have to say, it's completely a different way of making a game of this scale. And the other complication, obviously, is the fact that we're actually a live game as well as we're in development. So there's a lot of boring stuff, which I'm sure we're boring you with. That's about release management and what like code streams we're working on and what data streams we're working on in terms of updating the release we currently have live, which is what you guys are playing, which is in the public-facing nomenclature 0.9.1.1, I think. For us, it's 13.1, and we'll be about ready to give you 13.2. But we have to keep those streams, plus we have other streams that we develop other things, whether it's the space stuff or the FPS stuff. And so just managing all that process requires a huge amount of communication, and that's actually kind of one of the big things that production does on the project. And in some ways, it's a bit of an unsung thing because you sort of always focus on pretty graphics.
I want to pause the stream. I want to pause the stream for just a second. I want to present a question to everybody who's watching as well as to other co-hosts. I just realized that one of the things that we didn't know back then was the process of development. I think that people thought from 2013 through whatever, they were building the game per se. And it wasn't until later we found out that they were building the tools to build the game. Do you think that if we had known
the company to build the tools
and the company, right? So do you think that if people knew that, if they had outlined, like let's say they had said over the next 7 years, this is how it's going to go, do you think that the community would have received things better, or do you think people still would have been kind of like, just give us the game? And I just love to hear what in chat, you guys drop your feelings. Real quick, Younique and fastcart, what do you guys think?
Well, it's unfair. I am a software engineer, so it was inherently obvious to me that that's what they were doing because that's what I do. So it didn't faze me at all.
Okay. Fastcart, what about you?
Yeah, they made it more clear. I mean, it was always in the background and stuff like that. Like, they were saying that they were building the company to make the tools to make the game. But if they had specified, if they had put the company building in the forefront, it wouldn't make a difference to me per se. But I can maybe might have changed some people's mind. But there are some people who are always going to be, not like Star Citizen just because it's Star Citizen or just because it's made so much money. So I don't think in the long run it would make that much difference. But it would it would give people who are defending Star Citizen more ammunition against people who hate against Star Citizen. So, like, if you look at this, look at this announcement, look at this article, or this piece right here. They're saying right here that they are actually building the company to make the game. So,
fix or like a cool piece of engineering that has a really great result, but without having sort of production as a glue to pull it all together to do something of this scope and ambition, it's not really possible. So anyway, I thought I'd bring Alex up. I don't know whether you guys found it interesting, but it certainly is a small insight into some of the stuff we do. So let's carry on. Thanks, Alex. Good to have you aboard. All right. So the next studio that we're going to highlight is a studio that's dear to my heart, since that's where I grew up, Manchester.
Hi, I'm Aaron Roberts. I'm the studio director. We've been really hammering away on Squadron 42, as well as focusing on a bunch of the pipelines in terms of how we do the characters, how we get the ships working.
I'm Nick Elms, creative director.
I'm Luke Presley. I'm a designer. Been working on things like lobbies, leaderboards, game modes, new game mechanics.
I'm Paul Jones. I'm the art director.
Hi, I'm Ian, and I'm lead environment artist. We've done Arena Commander, we've done Broken Moon, Dying Star, Squadron 42. We're just working like crazy on missions 1 to 10.
Hi, I'm Bjorn Townsend. I'm lead vehicle artist.
I'm back in another discussion.
One of the artists.
They built Arena Commander, but then it kind of like let it go to the right side. A lot of people are afraid that they're going to lose the same thing.
I'd say the thing I'm most proud of is the Vandal Swarm co-op mode.
You pull that together in a day.
Yeah, we managed to take the single-player version and turn it into a co-op. We had nothing.
Well, it's
one
possible
morning,
Arena Commander kind of goes away, or just stops where it is because of Theater War.
It was the most fun we've had.
Just clicked.
Yeah, it just worked.
From what we've accomplished this year, I'm personally most proud of getting levels out to you guys. I mean, these levels are so big. So what we're showing now is
look at that.
Shubin's
That's Shubin, early version of Shubin mining facility. Look at that.
A corporation, a mining corporation. The facility that you can see is the Argon. Now, this thing is big, like 6 kilometers big. And currently it's in its grey box phase.
It is beautiful.
So you're seeing full mesh detail, no textures or
this is 6 years ago.
The physical act of making these levels was initially so hard because the CryEngine was custom built for small environments. And we had to render out big space scenes. That's a big achievement.
For me, it's got to be the fact that we're trying to achieve something pretty special. We're aiming so high in terms of visual fidelity, in terms of what we want the player to sort of feel and be evoked in the gameplay that they've got. It's quite the challenge, but at the same time,
it's bigger than Babylon 5.
The challenge, it's something you kind of have to sort of endure and get through, because at the end of the day, we're going to provide an experience that's just going to blow people away.
Going forward, loads to do. The big one for us is Squadron 42. We're looking to have the vertical slice working for the end of this year, and then of course next year we plan to release the first chapter of Squadron 42.
Vertical slice is supposed to be ready at the end of 2014.
Squadron 42. As much time as we can put into it, we've got
to
get
boy.
1 to 10.
Sandy said
back when they were given dates.
As much detail, fidelity, finesse.
I mean, what we got planned for Squadron 42, it's such a high vision. We're doing everything we can to deliver that.
We're going to totally knock it out of the park.
One of the things that we're most excited about adding imminently to Star Citizen is the emissions gameplay and the missile gameplay.
Yeah, we're going to be exposing the power management to the player so that he can now turn off certain parts of his systems or completely.
Yep.
And
go cold.
Yeah, go cold. Turn off his engines, cool down, and hide behind asteroids and appear to all radar like space debris.
Yeah. There's a lot of gameplay that we're planning around that.
One of the larger teams we work with are actually the guys at Moon Collider who've been doing a lot of the AI work for us. So you remember all the space combat stuff they've been working on, which has been really cool.
That's one of the companies I don't remember. Moon Collider, I don't remember them.
Not only improving the space combat, but also
I remember the name, but I don't remember their role.
For the persistent universe.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're one of the big scam artists.
To bring the actual characters and the AI and the people to life in the game.
Yeah, I think they were doing
really exciting
AI
year
stuff
in the development of Kythera.
Yeah,
we started with dogfighting.
At the very beginning of the year, we did have basic dogfighting working, but it was only AI versus AI. It wasn't until later on that you could actually start flying ships as a player, and at that point we had to really tune the AI and start making it fun. And this finally accumulated in the release of Arena Commander, in particular the Vanderswarm game mode, which is all about playing against AI. And we're really proud of that. It's the first time that Kythera is actually in use in a game by hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah, so it really reassures us that what we're doing is the right stuff.
So one of the really interesting things they're working on right now is what we call smart objects. And smart objects are basically places and locations that we basically design and put down, which the AI or the characters in the game will interact with. So a character will know, or an AI will know where to go to sit down, will know where to go to serve someone, will know where to go if he's buying something. So when you're going through the game, you actually see a living, breathing
Kitty says it was 3 guys in the UK called Moon Collider.
With the persistent universe, and also all this kind of stuff will run
what
through
it's like.
Squadron 42 as well. So when you're on a capital ship and you're going through life on that capital ship, you'll see people actually performing tasks and doing interesting things.
So some of our future plans over the next year.
We're going to be working on some of the basics of the PU, getting the AIs interacting with other objects within the world.
Yeah, giving them a schedule, and so they're going to have a whole heap of things that they'll do. You can watch them and they'll seem like they're intelligent, and it's part of a living world.
Also making flight more advanced.
We've got the dogfighting AI with single ships at the moment, but when the multi-crew ships come in and when the capital ships come in, we want to start controlling those and controlling different aspects of those.
Yeah, so really groups of AI working together to coordinate a larger ship.
It's pretty crazy the fact that there's probably literally hundreds of thousands of people looking at our work, following it, and just
every day.
Literally almost every day we'll look in the forums and there'll be stuff. It's great, like it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's very open, very honest.
I read the forums all the time, and their feedback and opinions they have on there are just fantastic. I mean, they actually affect the way I design things.
The feedback's phenomenal, and that's what Arena Commander's about. You know, we get something out there.
See how it goes. We can do that in this game. We can actually put it out there and get their feedback.
Stuff they like,
work on
stuff
that.
they hate.
Yeah.
We take
I
it on
have a
board.
confession.
It's not like releasing a final thing.
Having played it, I was
never worked on a
Wave
game
18,
like
but I haven't done.
I'm
sorry, I've done Vanderswarm
every month, every couple of months, your work's out there, and you get that direct feedback, so you can actually tailor,
Trust me, you're not the only one.
It's quite an organic process.
I haven't done either one.
We brought in talented people, and now the whole team is the quality level is just growing and growing and growing, higher and higher.
Teeth.
And I think the fans can see this, and that that's what I really like is that sort of, really appreciating where we're coming from. Strive to build the best damn space game in the world, and I think we're well on our way.
So all in all, a massive year last year. We plan to have a bigger one this year coming, and I'm glad you guys are with us along for the ride.
So we happen to have Aaron, my brother here, who's...
Hey, everybody.
It's Lego Star Wars, man.
Notoriously stage shy. Let's zip to kind of what we're going to talk about at the end of this. I don't go to the presentation. There you go. So anyway, Foundry 42, they're doing Squadron 42. They're also actually taking over being the lead studio on Arena Commander, so they're supporting the live aspects of Arena Commander, so the LA studio and the UK studio working together on that, but the sort of production leadership's coming out of Manchester. They're going to be working on the capital ship systems and components and the character pipeline.
A lot of studios
about any of this
for
stuff,
CID.
Aaron? Come on.
Final
I'm really crap at this, sorry.
hardest one
But
for me
anyway,
to decide to do a studio tour
yeah, I mean,
of, 'cause
basically this
I don't
last
want to be
year
spoiled
has been
by
quite
Squadron 42. I want to experience it.
because if you remember last year, I wasn't even hit at this event. We filmed madly because I'd literally just quit a job to come and join you guys and do this. And since then, we had to build a studio, and I think we really only got up and running really end of January, beginning of February. So we've gone from nothing to like 68 development staff working.
Manchester is actually our biggest internal studio right now, so
yeah,
pretty impressive.
And the thing is, we've really just actually getting a lot of momentum now as well, and then working on Arena Commander, Squadron 42, and then we're tying up a bunch of guys in Europe and the UK as well, so it's really good. But I know, I mean, the guys, we're just absolutely loving this way of developing with everybody because, we've all just spent a lot of time just doing a typical path, and this is like a big change for us. So no, this is awesome.
All right. Well, and also speaking of Arena Commander, whenever we get there, so just to let you guys know, we're planning on getting the full sort of V1 implementation out before the end of this year on Arena Commander, which would include the lobby system. By the way, I've been told I need to talk more to you.
When did Arena Commander actually come out?
We're making a lot of improvements to the maps. I mean, I think your guys, right, Aaron, we're doubling the size to have a larger play area.
Yeah, we're basically doubling the size. Since we doubled the speed of the ships, we thought we'd better double the size of the maps. But that also means that we thought we're not just going to double the size of the maps, we're actually going to do some improvements to the maps as well. So you guys should see that pretty soon.
And I mean, I would say that the other thing is that you got to remember that we're doubling the size of the maps for now, but as we're working on the sort of what we call large world, which is moving to 64 bits.
Oh, December 20th, 2014.
Right now it's in 32 bits. Then we can have, maps that we wanted to, that would be millions.
So it actually made that day.
Instead of, right now, if you get more than about 8 kilometers from the origin, you'll start to get floating point imprecision, because this is totally technical, but basically we have a lot of stuff in the cockpit that's within a meter, so when your hand's on the joystick and all this stuff, you have stuff that needs like millimeter precision, and with 32-bit floating point, when you get to about sort of 8 kilometers out, you start to lose that precision, which is
a total software engineer. When he gets to talking technical, he's down on it, man.
He's
stutter it all, even when he's drinking.
That's kind of why the first stage we just go to 8 kilometers, and then when Large World comes online, which is a massive undertaking because we have to shift the entire CryEngine to 64-bit from 32-bit. And can't remember, I think we were looking at it, I think overall, including the SDK stuff, there's about 10 million lines of code, and the core engine itself is about 5 million lines of code.
I forgot all about that, but CryEngine 64-bit is the second graphics engine.
It's a huge amount.
Move to that,
and
then move to Lumberyard.
Code modules that we sort of have to go to make that. So it's something that we've been working on for a while.
So they've done 2 graphic engine moves.
Continue to work on, and we would hope that we'll have it up and running.
Almost all the same things.
Probably in the next
a lot of people don't really count those, but I understand what you mean.
Not from 32 to 64. I know that's a monster.
The universe,
right? Because you can do so much more, so you add a bunch more code.
And I would say that that's one of the big things that
I know people argue that
right now. I see a lot of comments about certain gameplay in Arena Commander, and it's a very, very, very sort of small set of what the final game is going to be, because it's really about small single-seater ships right now, and it's sort of very close in dogfighting. And there's a huge amount of stuff that will sort of come onto play as soon as you get larger sort of areas in terms of whether you're sort of playing cat and mouse or you're hiding. You can sort of run away. There's in terms of the combat and the sort of interaction that you'll have in space. There's a huge, there's so much more that comes with a much larger play space, and also we have a lot larger sort of array of ships that you'll be using with different roles, and so it's not all just about sort of single-seater combat. So just remember that when you're talking about Arena Commander, because that's just a very small part of a much bigger game, and sometimes the overall picture and vision, we sort of kind of know where it's going to go, and so there are some things that we make choices with that may not seem obvious in Arena Commander, but once you see the bigger picture, they will make sense. All right, so I think we're doing improvements to the racetrack stuff, right, Aaron?
Yeah, we're going to once again make it a little more interesting, and then put some new stuff in there, and we'll probably make sure that we move up some of the race modes.
It's hard to start with something that didn't exist.
Which, by the way, I have to say that the racing is kind of one of the kind of funnest, more interesting stuff is because it went live, and then within like a day or two,
I think
there
Unreal
was
was
scores that
around
no
back
one
then,
would
when that
know.
Unreal 4.
Even our
That's
best
true.
players in QA were like, "How did they manage to make that score?" So that just shows you.
So do you think
can never
Unreal
be
is
as good
better
as
than
your
Lumberyard?
community.
Yeah, no, I
No,
actually told
I
the
don't
guys as
think
soon as
that.
you
I
go live,
think
get
other
up there,
people
get the
just,
top scores, and then make it so people trying to beat
that,
your scores. And
they
before they got
started
up
with
there,
Unreal, they were
people had faster
done by
scores,
now.
so it was pretty bad.
The other things that are going into 1.0 is, and you heard both the UK designers and engineers and the LA ones talk about it, but the whole missile and countermeasure and sort of signature system. So we actually designed it a long time ago. The issue is we haven't really sort of fully implemented it all the way through the system and actually created enough items to be able to do that and balance the items correctly. So that's one of the major pushes for 1.0, to make sure all the systems are there, and we actually have a variety of systems that you can plug and play. So you'll actually really feel a difference between different, radars you'll use, different missiles you'll use, and I think on a gameplay-wise, there'll be just sort of a lot more sort of rock, paper, scissors that will come from that. It was always part of the original design. It's always actually been stubbed in there, but now we're taking the time to finish it out, actually have the signature system work properly, and you'll be able to sort of manage your various signatures, whether it's sort of heat or, electromagnetic, in terms of being detectable by other players, being detectable by missiles, and so on. So I think that's actually going to that'll add a huge amount to the gameplay in space combat. I just talked about part of that, so power management also runs in with that. Proximity warming improvements, so it's not telling you colliding with something when you're not going to collide with something. We've actually had a big sort of third-person camera and spectator push that you guys haven't seen yet, but we sort of want to make those sort of feel a bit more sort of organic, and, almost human-operated, and also have some fun cinematic stuff. Because actually, one of the funnest things in sort of Arena Commander is actually watching a whole bunch of you guys, in our community go out and make videos. I mean, some of you guys have made sort of, like trailers for Arena Commander that are better than some of the stuff that we've done, and you guys have captured amazing footage, and we want to have more tools to do that because, the graphics are awesome. It's great to see like ships like that blow up in real detail, and so I want to see more of that, so we're going to put things in for that. I sort of alluded to more about the items, but for 1.0, we're going to have a huge amount of sort of new items and ships, so there really can be sort of mixing and matching in the game. So right now, we basically have an item set that was the same item set we had when we released Hangars in 2013. And one of the core ideas is we can switch out. Like a Hornet itself has about 60 items attached to it, but everyone's got all the stock items. So you should be able to switch out your targeting computer. You should be able to switch out your coolers. You should be able to switch out your various weapons, your thrusters, and balance it. And they all have sort of trade-offs, which is we've talked about whether they consume more power, they weigh more, or they're less reliable, or they give off more emissions. And so I actually, that will be kind of interesting to see how people sort of do some loadouts. I mean, there already is a little bit of I've seen Arena Commander where people strip like various guns from like a 325 and put it on a Hornet or whatever, because they feel like it has a little bit of advantage, and it probably does because we really haven't balanced the guns very well, so we do need to do that, and that will be in 1.0 as well. Really should have had a little monitor here so I could actually see what the presentation was. Then the final one that we're going to do here is the leaderboard. So there's a lot of, we've been getting a lot of feedback from you guys on the leaderboards. By the way, this is kind of why we do what we're doing. I mean, I know that it can sort of seem that things are a bit stupid or silly or broken.
They still do
but
leaderboards
from a development standpoint,
emails,
it's actually really awesome to push something out, even if that it's not quite 100% the way you would want it, and see what works and what doesn't work, and what people are interested in and what aren't interested in. And that's one of the reasons why I actually think by the time we have all these elements together, that I think the game is just going to be fun, because we have so much iteration, and we have so much sort of great feedback loop, and we're sort of allowed to do that because you guys have been so generous in supporting us and allowing us to do that, because obviously this sort of stuff takes time and takes money to do, but it really, I think, is going to make the game very polished by the time it's going to be live.
And I think in
pretty
some
awesome.
ways, sorry.
No, go on. Sorry, I'm guilty of talking too much.
The other thing is like it speeds up development as well in a lot of ways because we don't go away, work on something for a long time, and then put it out there, and then realize that actually it doesn't work. And so by getting it out there fast, we get the feedback, and then basically, and because of that, we don't waste time going down like routes that we could have wasted time on.
Yeah, I mean, so that's a so a good example is the next patch we'll do, 13.2, is going to have some significant flight and targeting tweaks and changes. And I think
Shiver makes a great point.
So right now, I'll say that like with the
but I imagine the overhead of making an engine from scratch would just
V0.9
not be worth it.
But with V0.9, we sort of changed around to make the targeting sort of a bit more
graphics engine is just as hard to make as like Star
implementation
Citizen
had more of
itself.
an auto aim, which wasn't necessarily so skillful. So what we will have next one is keeps the skill, but also we just have there's some really cool stuff. Basically, it has a sort of dynamic approach. So as you sort of get close to your target, the actual inputs you're scaling sort of scales down, so it's not overcorrecting so much. And I have to say, playing it with joystick and gamepad and all the rest of the stuff, it feels awesome. So I think you guys are going to like it. That's in the near future, in a few weeks. And then, obviously, long term, there'll be V0 1.0. So you're not going to get an exact date. I have learned my lesson. I'm an optimist, you know. That's my problem.
You didn't give a date. Okay.
I always hope we're going to do it, but yeah, no, it's the process.
No,
is
you
such
still
a big
get dates
process
after
now,
that.
and
You just didn't give a date this time.
Just to let you guys know, like when we decide to go with a patch, it's about an 8-hour process from that point to deliver it to everyone. And if we get into it and we get far down and QA tests it, and then somewhere in QA they find one thing that's broken, we've sort of lost 5 or 6 hours, and we've got to restart the whole process. So very easily, for stuff that you wouldn't normally catch, you could not catch it for a day or two, all of a sudden you've lost a day or two. So that's kind of why we think, oh, we're going to get it here, and then it sort of becomes another week. And it's not like there were major showstoppers, it's just that you didn't find one, and then one pops up at the last minute, and you've got to start the whole thing again. So, I think I've talked enough. Aaron, you want any last words to, well, I've not talked enough for the presentation, but this particular section. Go on.
No, I mean, actually, I just want to say, just for myself, thanks. I want to say thanks from all the guys in the UK. And actually, it's a real pleasure working with you guys. And the guys, like I said, you probably saw it from them, but, we absolutely love this process. And keep the feedback going. And remember, when we put a patch out, it is not final yet. So give us the feedback and tell us you don't like it, and then we've got a chance to go.
Or tell us you like it. That's good too.
Yeah, that's good as well. If all we hear is bad, then that can go down a bit. But it's like just as we put it out there, we put it out there purposely so we can get the feedback and make a brilliant game for you guys. So anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you very much. We are we're very lucky to have Aaron and the UK team with us. I mean, they were, they were cranking out some of the best Lego games for a long time, and we have both a combination of some of the best people that were working there, and a whole bunch of actually people that came from Crytek in the UK that are at the UK, and so we're very lucky. I'm not sure we would have been as far along without them, so we kind of got lucky with that, which is great. So thank you, Aaron, and the guys out in the UK. And so now we're going to show you, because it's always fun to have pretty graphics, something that you saw the cinematic guys working on in the LA video.
Oh, is this the helmet flip?
Oh, yes, I remember this. I believe Sandy was the performance captain model for this one. Oh, that's weird. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that was fun. I don't know if we got John Griffiths and Chris Wallach in the audience. Are you guys in the audience or not? They are. They're back there. So that's due to John and Chris.
My son-in-law
And
just
also
wanted
a
to
bunch of
trade
the
in
others are character guys in Austin. And that was Behavior's Asteroid Hangar. But yeah, so that's our Colors commercial. Kind of fun. And by the way, I believe that was Sandy doing the motion capture and the walking and everything else. So there you go. You know, today we're putting the new Cutlass and the Cutlass variants on sale. So the black, which is sort of gone and done the usual, well, Chris Smith pass is the only way I can describe it. Who is back here, but he's an absolute perfectionist. So he's like, you know, I just sort of needed to go and do a little more detail and PBR it up and do everything. The other one is the Cutlass Red, which is our sort of medical version of the Cutlass. So inside it has
yeah, Dirk, I would think he would have done that
and
music
sort of a
back then
rescue
because
and
he said he was in like at the
setup,
early
and that's all
stages
sort
of
detailed in it. And then
development.
The more limited ship is the Cutlass Blue, which is the
I think he said it came in 2014.
sort of police
if I'm not mistaken.
bounty hunter version. It has holding cells in it and a whole bunch of other stuff. So that's the Cutlass stuff, and if you went to the website, you could see the brochure, which is very cool, done by David Laderman and Ryan Archer, and Chris Smith did a bunch of the renders. So that's the Cutlass for you guys. So hope you like the stuff and everything else.
All right, Cutlass Blues, the next one coming out, gang. So be ready.
And so now we're going to hear from Turbulent, who are the guys that have built the entire web platform. A lot of, you know, pretty much all the community tools that are used, the organizations, the
much
the
love,
forums,
much hated
the
group.
posting system that we have, and also our delivery system to actually deliver the game to you guys, and the account system and everything else. And so let's hear from them in still, I think, probably fairly warm Montreal.
That's true, Kimmy. Love the fact that they did listen to the community on that though, because the improvements and the rework was definite improvement.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but does it have a toilet yet?
No. Actually, wait a minute. The red does. They put a toilet in where the gun turret was now, I think.
So our team is responsible for everything that's web and user-facing.
Well, this year we actually
The black, you gotta hold it.
There's
a fast
a lot of stuff that people see, the big stuff like the org system,
I'm not gonna say anything.
I know.
And all that. There's a lot of new features that people were able to see in the store, but also we had a lot of day-to-day things like well, there was monthly, then now weekly promotions that we have to manage, and there's a lot of stuff. The site is constantly evolving. And
That's right, Sarge. You got to use the can without a door. It's your kind of ship.
What I'm most proud of in the work that we've done in the past year is the 3D holographic viewer on the web. Really wanted to bring something online that was an experience that we've never seen before, and I think this holographic viewer is really the first foray in that type of environment, and I'm really proud of it.
When we came to the project, the site was still in its older version on WordPress. It's not just a simple news site anymore. We actually made a whole interactive and complete
Nice going, Kimmy. You made me snort.
Point of entry into the game.
The funniest thing that happened in the studio last year has definitely been Benjamin. I gave him a task to fill up the store destinations from a list from ISO, which is an official standard of every single country in the world. And so he was supposed to do that, but he did that, and the task was closed, and it's been done, and it was nice. But he took a list from 1986, which included East Germany and the USSR.
And people were somewhat offended and or amazed at our shipping options. But yeah,
okay. As you can see from my reaction, it was my fault.
People offended on the internet. That never happened.
Yeah, and we've had a couple of glitches over time, but I think so far we've done a pretty good job on not crashing everything all the time.
To be honest, it's really tough to know what's going to be in the website a year ahead, because there's always new stuff being added, and we are still working on improving the organization
Just
system.
shows you how important it is to specify when you make your requirements.
Constant improvement on other stuff like the chat system, the new leaderboards, which are going to get a lot more stuff and fluff added into them.
The project that you guys have voted on for us to do as a priority is the star map. And
on the stream, it's bleeped out.
We really take it seriously to bring a really fully fledged star map of the known Star Citizen universe to you guys to play with, so you can be completely immersed in the universe that Chris is building.
Turbulent.
When it comes to the star map, they're always very careful to say the known universe.
I really feel
Yeah, they won so many awards for the star map. Well-deserved awards.
Yeah, but they always allude to there's much more.
Star Citizen is a big deal.
I'll give them credit. That star map's amazing, and then they keep adding to it. It's really nice.
Feedback loop that we've been entertaining for the last year, and we would never go back to a project that doesn't have this level of involvement with the people that use our products.
I'm referring to the Arc Star map, folks, not the one on your Moby Glass.
So the graphic at the very end where you saw all the different shapes, that was actually, I think we have 9,800 organizations, and that was each one of the logos of the organizations all coming together to form Star Citizen. And that is, I got to say, a pretty amazing thing that you have
Colossal,
that many
you're
different
right. They get the
organizations
star map tied into that
all
cartography room
part of
on
this
the
game,
Carrack. It's going to be
and,
awesome.
the game isn't finished yet. I mean, it's still got a ways to go. But that's, I think, what makes Star Citizen so strong. So I wanted, we don't have the Turbulent guys down here because they're still up in Montreal, but they're awesome. I mean, they always deliver. They never miss their dates. I don't know what they do. Someone's done a deal with someone somewhere or something, because I'd like to get that deal going down in our studios. But I thought what would be great was to bring Ben, Lesnick, and James Stewart on stage.
Wish our people were on time.
So,
hey everybody.
These guys, they're on the front lines every day. There's obviously, we have quite a few other people in customer service and moderating, both
I forgot how tall Ben
Will,
is.
who's our internal moderator, and all the amazing volunteer mods that we have. But I think
I got to meet him and Alexis
what makes us
after CitizenCon, the night before. I'm sorry, at the bar. They both came and got to talk with him. They were really nice.
Hey everybody. First of all, to the hardworking team at Turbulent, who makes us look good every day, and who has been working for about the last 72 hours straight to make this work, we are so sorry. You guys are amazing. Benoit, Benjamin, Felix, Michelle. We could not do this without you. And it is going to be a really exciting year for the website. I don't know what they expected.
Yeah. Hang on, let's go. Let's bring some stuff up so we can see it.
Oh, was the website crashing back then? Probably.
I don't know what the team at Turbulent expected when we brought them in to work on Star Citizen. I mean, I think they thought it would be a website.
I just got the Galactopedia last year, but I like it.
They are building the forefront of the game with the organization system,
and the friend list got upgraded.
It's going to be your first steps into Star Citizen. And they have risen to meet the task absolutely fantastically.
Yeah, and I would say that the other thing that's really great on the Turbulent side is that they're actually, all of them are gamers, right? So they're all like hardcore gamers. And so for them, doing this job is like actually great.
You haven't gotten Organizations 2.0, but that's coming.
Or like a car resale site. And so, they're like seriously hardcore.
It's only been 6 years, it's fine.
Harder core than some of the people we've got like working on the game.
And,
the new
so
contact list does make up for it. It definitely helps with grouping people.
It is so much better.
Same way as on the development, we enjoy the feedback loop. You don't really get that feedback loop, and the more that we build the sort of structure, I mean, the original vision when everything was launched, even at the very beginning when we launched the sort of teaser RSI site a month before announced Star Citizen, was to sort of build a place for a community. And the idea was to build a place for a community to stay, to talk to each other, to get information, and not have to go anywhere else. And what we've been doing is sort of, we took
I can't find a date for when the Star Map came out, but the Q&A for the Star Map was October 14th, 2015.
Step by step, digital brick by digital brick into a
huge
palace for everyone to spend time, and communicate and interact with each other in this universe, and it's pretty awesome.
So lots of great stuff coming up from Turbulent. We've got the map that you folks voted on. It's going to be great. They did the Hollow Viewer, the organizations. It's going to look amazing. We've got the Galactopedia. We're going to revamp the front page, get more people into Star Citizen. Anything else?
I know. It's Brian keeps on going to
they filled in that promise.
The organizations drop, which is basically the organization.
Right?
The 2.0 drop is what we need for the lobby system. So the organization stuff feeds into the lobby stuff, which is kind of what we're talking about, the deep game integration, because a lot of the core systems that will run inside the game will first be on the website basis. Are we getting anything from James? Come on, James, you got to say something.
He just wouldn't give me the mic.
What's that? Yeah.
One of the things I really like about Turbulent is they are in charge of everything on the website, from chat, which now works, thank you guys, to making sure posts go out and making sure our videos get embedded and everything. So they're the unsung heroes, but I'm glad we could give them their proper due.
No, I mean, yeah, no, they totally do. I mean, like, if you think about it, so you guys, I mean, I don't know if you guys are checking on the phone, but all this stuff, they're pressing, like, the Cutlass going live, all the other stuff. They do it, and they're 3 hours ahead of LA, and we tend to be sort of on an LA cycle a lot. I don't know why, I've got no idea. But they're there at 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning or whatever it is, making sure the thing goes out. And I mean, that typifies the dedication of all the teams across the world that work on Star Citizen. And anyway, it's great to have them as part of the team. They're amazing.
Let me say a few words about the community. So when Chris started this, he knew that from day one, we needed the support of people who understood this game, people who would get his vision. And I wish I could say I'm a genius, I put all that together. The fact is, you guys made it really, really easy. It turns out that people who are into this sort of game are creative and brilliant and amazing, and you've come together to create so much more than we ever expected. You are absolutely our partners in making this game.
called the community amazing before Keanu Reeves did.
I said in the video that we're doubling down on community support in the next year. That's not PR speak. We want to find every way we can to make sure that you feel like you're part of the development team. And if you have any ideas, let us know.
I'm sure they will.
Thank you for making giving Star Citizen the best community in the video game universe.
Yes,
just a little.
I think you guys are. And do we want to call out? Think appropriately, right? So Chelsea's birthday is today. So very apropos. Chelsea's back here. So happy birthday, Chelsea. And do we want to call out Alexis and Will? Where are you guys? Where's the rest of our community, guys? And over in the UK, we've got
Ali and Patrick. It's a fantastic team to work with. I am honored to be part of it.
And I would say, I mean, our QA guys also help out on the customer service stuff. So you'll see some of them later on the Austin side, and it's a pretty large UK QA team now. So,
and let me just close with one more. I just want to thank you personally, Chris, on behalf of all the team members who have been with us this whole time. You're not just making this game come true, you are giving us the experience of our lives. We know nothing is going to be like this again, so thank you for making it possible.
Well, thank you. All right, thank you. Hey, hug. Thank you. I know.
Don't make
That
that into
bus
an
driver
enemy
job
gift.
is
All right, I
killing
gotta
me.
have James too. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. The best community team in the world. And the best
That was
community
just
in the
second.
world
This is
right
October
here.
10th in 2014. So it's 2 days after my birthday as well.
All right, so we were at one place in Montreal, and we're, literally it's, I think, about half a mile down the road is Behavior, and let's see what they've been up to.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they're gone.
I mean,
Yeah, they're gone.
the only people still left standing is Turbulent, really.
Yeah, Turbulent. Okay,
producer.
they're gone.
So I'm a producer for Star Citizen here at Behavior. I started back in February 2013. We are a team of 40. We do have programmers, designers, and artists working with us. We pick up the best talent, so I'm really proud of.
Now, were they the ones that was doing the
Dave Richard, lead game designer.
the FPS?
Prepare the design for all
That
the
was
feature
Delphonics.
here at the
That was
the
Delphonics,
Behavior.
okay, they were the ones doing-
Mostly
okay, thanks.
flare objects, mobile
Oh, yeah, they were
graphs,
doing all the
bit
flare
of,
stuff.
client-side interaction.
Stéphane Beauchamp, lead programmer.
Thanks, Sergeant.
Yann
Thanks.
Frédéric Dissot, lead programmer.
One of the things I'm really proud that the team accomplished this year, I would say the release of the new hangars in both programming and art.
François Boucher, technical lead level designer.
Stéphane Horvath, level designer.
We started designing a couple planets. There's our core, but there's lots of other planets that we're working on right now.
Corentin Chevan, art director.
Emmanuel Garcia, lead artist.
Something we
Notice he said there are a lot of other planets we're
behind
working
us.
on.
Everybody is happy with the new style and the new look.
Etienne Beaulieu, UI designer.
Christine Marsh, lead UI designer.
Something that was really fun to do this year was
Mhm.
to help the art team working on the hangars and all the different planet sites that they did. Maxime Goulet, 3D artist.
Maxime Guindon, 3D
Might have been their work
artist.
that
Quite a few
kind
things we worked
of
on
made
this
them
year.
realize that they
Itself
needed
and
procedural
hanger,
planets.
the biggest one.
Ryan McLean, 3D artist.
Alexandre Devaux, 3D artist.
We did the flares. The last one is the lockers, which got amazing reviews. We continuously get new projects. To
All I know is my fish tank ain't got no fish in
What
it.
I'm the most proud of
Yeah.
is to be able to get all those talents together.
Well, which fish tank do you have? Do you have your full fish tank or just the original OG fish tank?
I got that original big tank, man.
Big tank. All the other hangars
My tank on my
Wow.
Phoenix has no fish, and the one for the hangar has no fish. I ain't happy about that. I paid for those fish. Fish was freaking $5, man.
Have you put it on the
They're really cool. They're funny stuff.
What, for a ticket for it?
People seems to like him a lot.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
not
I'm most
chicken.
proud
The
of the work that we've done on Mobiglass. It's such
oh crap! I
a
can't think of
huge,
the
huge
bug
feature.
thing.
We're making an
Yeah, that's
OS,
what I
we're
mean. I
making
put
an
a
operating
thing on the
system
bug
for
thing.
in 1,000 years in the future.
My fish.
We're really pushing to always stay in fiction. Every
People
decision
worrying
that
about
we
their
make,
ships
we're
working and
trying
working
to
and
fit
stuff. I'm worried about my
grand
fish.
scheme of things. Great vision. It's cool.
I'm really proud of the communication.
Issue
that's
console,
been
that's what I'm
going
trying to
into the
figure out.
different
Issue console.
disciplines
Yeah.
Here at Behavior, whether it's programming, level design, UI design, artist, everybody communicates very well.
I'm just so proud of working on a big team like this, and which.
That's right, Sarge. Fish. Y'all go to the issue council and put those tickets in
Made
for the
games
fish.
That we love. I don't know if I can say them, but they made some of my favorite games, and they're on my team. And they
Them
teach me
plants,
every
them
day.
plants
I
don't
think
move.
this
I
year's
want my
going to be
fish.
pretty big because we're doing the first step into the persistent universe.
There goes your ship.
We'll be building more and more planet. This is what I want to be able
I
to
want us to
show.
be able to
not at this CitizenCon,
go into
but the
hangars
next
together.
CitizenCon.
So
Yes.
Planet side location,
Ship.
they're really
And your
complex location. They have
Yeah, they said they were working on that
four
a couple of years,
Mr.
not a
like
couple of years,
immersive
a few years ago.
environments we've ever seen. That's one of the big tasks that we had to make this year.
We're creating all the interiors for the
That was
game.
one of the first
So
things
for
you were
when the
supposed to be
player
able to
comes in,
do.
You can go buy at the shops parts for their ships or for their clothing, and it's all that we really.
I mean, but I
We
mean,
just started,
the
working
PTU,
with
not
the developers,
PTU,
programmers to have
PTU,
Mobiglass in-game.
as there,
finally.
so
I think in the coming months
you know,
and in the year,
you could
we'll
spawn your
we'll
ship and have people
something,
get on,
solid
basically the
to
same
be able to
thing.
give to the players and start developing all the different.
Yeah, but then they
apps
can't
that
see all
we're
your
helping
flare,
with.
you
I
know.
believe that we're gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, you know,
Can't see my fish.
Yeah.
Don't get me on my fish again. I can't see my fish.
Well, you ain't got no fish.
Got about 3 of them fish tanks, Jack.
Buy new ships for Star Citizen. As soon as we have a new feature and we're able to release
Sitting there
it,
watching the
we get
plants
the
wave
feedback
around.
from
I
the
got no
community,
fish.
and this is amazing.
We get feedback every month. I've never been part of anything like that.
I do miss the old
It's pretty
Hundreds,
wild. Every month we're gonna put out
There you
something
go,
new,
Shiver.
So hopefully the fans will enjoy what we got for them.
This community, we're part of it, and what the other studios are making, it's really cool.
Did
We
that
see it
dude have
online, it's really
pineapples on
fun.
his
You know,
shirt?
once in a while I go in the forums and I can just chat with the community, which is amazing.
Knowing that there is so many fans looking at us, following us, seeing the development on Star Citizen, I think it's
I
giving
only
us
have
the
one,
energy
because I have been able
to
to
move forward with the
refill
development
one.
of the project.
We're gamer.
Oh, by the way,
gamers
there's only one more
ourselves,
day
and
left
have
in your
high
refill
expectations
thing before
when
you
we
get
want to play a game
refer a
that we're
friend.
waiting for
Both
and we
get
like.
a
So I know
buggy.
how the community feels towards our game, and they really have high expectations, and we're there to give it to them.
I've been tempted to get my two more referral to get a fish tank, but it's not worth $90.
All right, if you guys haven't signed up for Star Citizen, look up fastcart. Do a referral for him so he can get his buggy. He's got to have another buggy and a red one on top of it.
I mean, Behavior do a great, fantastic job. So you're gonna see some stuff later on that they're also quite involved in. But they, the
We should
hangars,
do a buggy
and
giveaway.
most of the planet side environment.
Buggy giveaway.
Hey, that's
stuff that we're working on. Oops.
There it goes.
We went to this bit now. I guess we didn't have a little slide with what Behavior did. Hang on, can I go back? Nope, there wasn't one. All right. Anyway, Behavior doing an awesome job, and let me go back before I go here. But I mean,
All right,
they
I just thought of a
actually,
T-shirt for
a
Chris
long
Roberts.
time ago, back
Don't drink and
before,
click.
I actually launched the game back in 2010 and 2011. I was considering coming back and doing games again, and I was sort of thinking about, well, do I want to go and do something that I've been very well known about, or do I want to do this new thing that I kind of think would be really interesting to build? And so I actually, Behavior was one of the groups that I thought, okay, I think there's a lot of talent in Montreal. And I talked to them, and they actually provided some early support for my very early demo and efforts, which was great. So there's a little bit of them helping out, made us be able to go and launch in October 2012, and it's very nice to have them part of the family and doing such an amazing job, because in terms of the quality level of the environments and art they're doing, it's exceptional. I mean, Montreal has an incredible talent base, and one of the advantages we have because of that is a lot of people from other places in Montreal, like Ubisoft or Warner Brothers or whatever, that they love spaceships. Who doesn't love spaceships? And so they're all going, okay, can I go work on Star Citizen? So we've got actually the team at Behavior has people that have been working on some of the biggest AAA games for the last X number of years, and they're really you're only going to see it get better. I'm like really happy and impressed. So speaking of that, so now we get on this slide. Hey, 90 jump. Now I've been told. So I think everyone here, we have a nice, very pretty double-page brochure. So I was told that the first 890 went on sale about an hour ago and sold out in 1 minute. So, which is a bit crazy. So I think the next one is at midnight tonight. I think we're doing it every 5 hours. Anyway, the thing I would say about this is the first ship that we sort of white boxed and designed out of Behavior, and so this was done by Quarantine and Nicholas Ferrand, who Quarantine's the art director at Behavior.
Maybe that's why it's not out yet.
Incredibly talented concept artist that's worked on lots of movies and a bunch of
because
other stuff.
Behavior was
Happens to
doing
live
it
in
first.
Montreal. And I think they did a pretty amazing design on the 890 Jump. I think you guys all have
that design looks different from the current
brochure
one.
for it.
I like it.
But
yeah.
yes, it's if you want to hang out with your friends and cruise the star system in style, I think it's the ship to fly in. And just one thing that I think is important, because I did notice some chatter on the forums about it, is that it's a different size ship and a different armed ship than what we'd originally spec'd out. I mean, essentially what we do, and this is kind of sort of an aside, but the Reclaimer was a much smaller ship in the specs. But once we got the actual 3D concept model in and we started to size it up next to the Constellation,
if they sold
and
that
the other ships, and
fighter
scaled
by
it up to
itself,
what
I'm gonna
we
have to get
thought
one of those.
the size should be for, say, the cockpit, it was quite clear that it was a much bigger ship. And the same really was the case with the 890 Jump. I mean, when we looked at the proportions, and if you went back, I went back here to this. Where is it now? That's not really in a 70-meter long ship, basically. So essentially, and I know there was a bit of chatter about the
that's
fact
the
that
85X.
the 890
That looks
was
different.
fairly pricey. But really, the way everyone should think about this is that's supporting the game, supporting all this development that we're doing.
It's a little bit more
you can
rounded
earn
off
the
and
game,
stuff on
the
it.
ship in
Yeah,
the
exactly.
universe. You don't need to. You
I
don't need to buy. You don't
like
need
the concept
to
of this show.
do any of that. But if you want to support, then it's awesome because it sort of allows us to make things bigger and better. And I'd love to make things bigger and better. I think that this kind of ship and things like the Reclaimer and some of the specialty ships sort of are going to make the universe and adventuring around it much richer and much more real, because you sort of have all these different ships with different roles, and it's actually really interesting to have real players run them instead of AI at the very beginning when you get into the universe. So it's kind of nice to have a populated world where you have certain different classes of ships. So I'm looking forward to getting into the game and seeing players run their Idris Corvette and have some of their friends with their Hornets on the deck and sort of do this kind of sort of combined arms coordination, and then some other people show up, a group of pirates, and they try and take the Idris out. I mean, that's kind of an emergent gameplay that I don't think I've seen in any other game, and that is something that Star Citizen is definitely going to deliver. And I'm totally curious because I'm already amazed by what people do just in Arena Commander with just a few ships. So, having people be able to, fly big ships with other small ships that launch off them and sort of, command other people with their, give sort of air tactical combat orders to people flying fighters. It's going to be pretty interesting. Or some people may just want to trade and hire some people to protect them. So I think that's kind of one of the things that makes Star Citizen special, and I think it's one of the things that will make the game different than what people have done before. And the 890 jump is the version of you want to cruise in style. I mean, just to let you know, by the way, 123 feet. Paul Allen's octopus is 123 meters. Paul Allen's octopus is 126 meters. So basically, you're cruising like Paul Allen if you got one of these things. All right, enough about the 890 jump. Let's move on. Here we go.
You can never say enough about the 890
studio,
jump.
We're going to have a video from, and afterwards we're going to do a live demonstration for you guys. Is the Austin studio. It's our
When it
first
gets
studio
blown
that we
up, how many
started
pieces
at, and
do you count?
we've, as we've grown, we've sort of refactored how we're doing development, and so each one of the studios is starting to specialize in an aspect of the game. So Austin is focusing on the persistent universe. Tony Zurovec is the director of the persistent universe. He can't be with us tonight because he just had a baby son earlier this week. So congratulations, Tony and Margarita, who's his wife. But we've taken the team in Austin and we're focusing them on persistent universe. And the other thing that we do in Austin is we do a lot of the online operations, so running the servers for Arena Commander, ultimately the persistent universe. A lot of the, one of our big QA hubs is Austin. The second one's in the UK, and sort of publishing operations when we deliver patches and all that stuff to you is done in Austin. But let's hear from them instead of me.
My name is Tony Zurovec, and I'm the director of
Hello,
Persistent
Tony
Universe,
Z.
and I'm just really excited to be working with so many bright individuals on such a groundbreaking project.
I've always been attracted to games that present the player with highly detailed environments and then give them the freedom to pursue their own interests, and that's ultimately the underlying objective.
A lot of the ships, they come by my desk and I do final polish on a lot of them. Some of them I've built completely, like the 300i. The racing thing has been a thing that's been kind of going on lately, with the Murray Cup that we had and the M50.
Yeah, well, Chris wanted the M50 to have that Formula One look. So I elongated the nose and I put the little fins in the front and the paint job and all that stuff. So. Yeah. But that's the beauty about it, we can always tweak our ships. It's not like a final game, it's out and that's what you get. Yeah. It's like, we can always make our ships better.
I'm James Wright. I'm a senior game engine programmer. Having Large World Complete will give us the technology we need to build truly massive star systems that give the player of our game the experience you really expect in a game like Star Citizen.
My name is Tom Davies. I'm a senior gameplay programmer. From the galaxy view, we can look at all of the star systems that exist in the galaxy and a designer can come in here and edit the properties of a particular star system. We can look at a star system as a whole and all of the elements within a system, the planets and the moons and the sun, jump points. So this is the Sol system, so we can see Mercury here, and Venus and Earth, and we can go in and we can edit the properties of any of these elements.
Hi there, I'm Sean Tracy. I'm the Engine Technical Director at Cloud Imperium Games.
That guy,
Absolutely
he's
most
Dan
confusing
Tracy's
challenge
brother.
is the scale. And I don't even just mean scale of production, I mean actual physical scale within the game is absolutely enormous.
In typical MMOs, you tend to see a lot of very narrowly focused missions. Go here, do this, and they may string a number of those together, but it's still very much dictated by the designer in terms of what you're doing, what the order is, etc. If you contrast that with a more typical game to where you handcraft all the individual levels, you're able to do something that's much more interesting in terms of you can control the pacing.
I think that was a Mobiglass concept.
You can have a variety of sub-objectives that are all piece of the puzzle of accomplishing that larger all-encompassing objective. We're going to try to basically find a middle ground in between those two extremes, to where we can algorithmically generate this multi-objective content that's going to have a beginning, a middle, an end, to where you may wind up having missions that are created such that first you receive a distress call and you don't know what's going on. You wind up going over there and it turns out that it's a freighter under attack by pirates. And so you take out the pirates, but you don't actually kill all of them, and one of them you wind up interrogating. That pirate in turn winds up giving you the location of a remote pirate outpost, and you go there and you take out the pirate outpost, and then you wind up ascertaining the location of where the entire pirate organization for that sector is storing their treasure. But of course it's going to be guarded, very heavily defended. The point is that each one of these little components is something that a designer has intricately crafted, and then we're going to look for ways to which we can logically combine these elements together and maintain thematic consistency, maintain a sufficient level of gradually rising tension, action, an increase in the rewards that are being offered to the player, so that each one of the missions that you wind up undertaking is going to have a lot more to it than just go here, do this specific objective, and then you're done. And yet we'll still be able to offer the players an absolutely gargantuan amount of content.
My name's Kortsos, Senior Technical
Tony Z has not changed.
So our goal
He's
is
still
to
making people feel
kind of
dumb.
write some art tools and art structures.
I had to shake my head
at
Yeah, he's a bright guy.
Which is no small task. Thankfully, we at Star Citizen were able to push things a lot further than we were in the past, especially with hardware.
Yeah, I think he's the guy that the studios always say, like, oh, look, Tony, we just got to stop.
Characters are one of the pillars needed to create a convincing world, and the more convincing the world, the more enjoyable the experience is going to be for the players. The player experience is going to be improved considerably by the fact that we're actually simulating all of these NPCs in the background.
That's cool,
Product prices, the missions being offered, which NPCs you see in which area, which ships you see in which area.
They had female concept back then.
This is all going to be
we talk about
dictated
Shiva.
by the economic simulator that's going to establish context for the entire system. If you see something occurring, within a particular section of space, you see an NPC doing something, it's because there is logical, rational reason in the course of this entire fully functional economy why that's happening.
One of the things that we've been developing is the skeleton part, our main character. Our original skeleton, which you can play in the hangar, you run around getting your ships, is a very old skeleton. There's a lot of little things like we didn't realize that the hips were locked in the Y and X translation, which we've unlocked. And now instead of having a character like running straight down a rail, our character actually has bob and weave, and you kind of get that more natural animation.
There's actually going to be a wide variety of ways by which NPCs are made, more unique.
Okay, that was a good job on the
level
hips
of
work.
intoxication, exhaustion, and various
Yeah,
other
but
things.
they ran with the hip lock for like 2 years and didn't notice.
Stand by the bar and dole out drinks. He's going to actively serve patrons. He's going to sweep the floors, and a variety of other such things. There are going to be millions of NPCs getting simulated, and that's it's going to lend context to the missions and the characters that you'll see in the various locations throughout the game. The only reason why you would see a freighter or a pirate in a particular place
What is
is
that
because
on
it
a
makes logical
whiteboard?
sense within the greater game why they're actually there.
I think that's part of like the bars and the tables and the layout and how positions and seats are set up and how they're going to get the AIs to work
all
doing.
of the technical operations of the company, including the live game servers, all of the development environments, a lot of the internal processes, so that if there are any technical issues, we're aware of them immediately and we can take action to resolve them.
That page hasn't
The
changed
operations team
since
includes a lot of
well
business
before
functions,
2014.
including the platform that serves the website and account information for the game. It includes building the game once it's been completed by the developers and the artists and the designers, so that we can make a build that QA can test, that can then be published to the servers and ultimately patched out to the public so that they can play the game. We've also continued to grow our
Griffin?
operations team. A year ago, it was very small, and a lot of the servers just sat under people's desks in various places, and now we have fancy server rooms and bigger operations and live servers that the public can play on. So there's a lot of growth happening over the last year, and a lot more to come in the next year.
I'm Justin Binford.
I'm Keegan Standifer. Jeffrey Peace.
Melissa Estrada.
Andrew Hessing.
Oh, so different. I didn't recognize with the glasses.
Think some of the funniest bugs are?
Freelancer breakdancing is probably the funniest one that I've seen. When you crouch, your knees go through your back.
The character folding in on itself.
Getting stuck in a chair, and then your character looks
I
like
miss Witch Glitch. I want to see more Witch
Huge
Glitch.
eyeballs flying around, losing your face.
Yeah, it was a pleasure having you.
Bye, Shiver.
Oh yeah, I did backflip.
Yeah,
Constellation. They just decided to my people need me.
So my favorite moment here was obviously the day I got hired, which was only a couple weeks ago. But I'm here, and we're going to make a big difference here.
Favorite moment, I think the Ice Bucket Challenge was pretty exciting.
Probably when we asked our mocap talent to act out toilet and barf animations.
I think the most exciting thing happened to me from this year anyway is getting the task to make This Is Bullshit banner.
My favorite moment? Fan booze, baby. Fan booze.
My favorite moment is now.
What's next? I think it's time to get out of our hangars. I mean, we've been staring at the same four walls for about a year now, so it's
No,
time
we've
to
been
open up
staring
the
at them
world.
for the past
We're gonna
5
let
years.
you
No, just
walk
kidding.
around on the planet side, eventually get your friends in there, social module is on its way, and then we'll be bringing you all the other planets as we start bringing them online. The next thing after that, we start connecting up all these planets and all these systems.
God, they
letting
gotta
you
do better
experience
with
the
this
persistent
music.
universe for the first time.
Well, citizens, it's
They
been a fun
do.
ride,
They
and I
do.
hope it continues. Happy birthday, Star Citizen.
My Little Pony lunchbox.
All right, gang, we're doing a buggy giveaway. Gray Cat buggy giveaway. Type in !buggy, and we're going to give it away. And you got to be here. So type in
So we have some of the
!buggy.
members from Austin here tonight. Where are you guys? You want to throw your hands up back in this way, I think. Where we got? I can't see you. It's dark back there, but we got Mark and Chris Smith. I think Mark Hung, who you guys haven't met, but he's a awesome production manager. I think one of our guys from QA, Andrew. And what's that? Okay, all right. Anyway, they're back there doing an awesome job. And another person you saw in the video, Sean Tracy. Where are you, Sean? Come up. So Sean joined us from Crytek. So you may know Sean from the next Great Starship, but actually Sean was one of the principal people at Crytek that made Star Citizen happen. So there was a fair number of, I guess the best way to describe it would be Wing
You're disqualified for that joke standard.
Crytek. And Sean, when I first was talking, because I was talking to both Crytek and I was
By the
talking
way,
to
this
Epic,
giveaway is
and
only for the live stream. If you're watching on
high-end
YouTube,
engines.
you can't enter
And I
Buggy
was,
in the comments in the
you know,
50
trying to
round.
figure
Sorry
out what
about
would be
that.
best to sort of put Star Citizen on. And, Sean was, let me put it this way, a great evangelist. And not only helped out, and actually was helping long before I ever did the two. I mean, back, I think we first had our conversations back in, well, even maybe 2010. And then when I started on the actual prototype at the end, like 2011 towards the end, you started to help out. And Sean also marshaled other Wing Commander fans back in Crytek to like after hours or give tips. So that's, Paul Rendell, who's our lead engineer here in LA, who's incredibly amazing and talented, was another one of these amazing people that helped me do the original prototype, and I wouldn't be able to do it without Paul.
I think this is the most talky of all the CitizenCons, just so you'll know. So those of you who might feel this is kind of painful, there was more stuff. They did all this individual studios at this one, and this was way, like, you notice we haven't seen any real game footage yet. This is real talky.
We're going to do a demonstration, I think, of something that the Austin team.
It's coming now.
These days they have more panels now, so we compact all those panels into one.
Yeah.
One presentation, and we probably adjust it.
Yeah, I mean, and the presentations now are hour long. You know what I mean? Versus back then, they were just a few minutes, 10 minutes, 20, 15 minutes.
Let's put it.
I mean, they gave Tony Z his own panel, so just that alone.
Prototype to sort of give you an idea of.
Well, let me say this: the panels are more interesting now.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Be way more. Look at. You can see how.
But again, this was that transition year. There was a lot transitioning here.
So the same progression will happen. But I think when you see what we show you, you'll get an idea of why we're so excited
he's announced
this
that
game, and we're so happy that you guys
3 people have come from Crytek in this.
It's going to be, I think, incredible experience.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, I need to thank all the guys back in Austin. For the last
later on.
Leading right up to this event, it's been really long days. So Court, Nate, Jake, everybody in the Austin studio, Rob, it's really nice that you guys stayed so late with me, even through the night last night. So yeah, it was right down to the wire, but I think you guys will appreciate it. So
yeah, cool. So you get it rolled, and let me, while you're talking, let me see if I have anything to say on. All right, so it takes a few minutes to boot this thing up, but ultimately, I mean, like I said, we've with Austin, the idea is to sort of focus Austin on the persistent universe. Behavior reports into Austin, building the persistent universe together, because ultimately it's the house that everything lives inside. So everything we're doing in space, in Arena Commander, everything we're doing in the first-person shooter aspect and the combat, ultimately will all fold into this huge persistent universe that is sort of all built at a level of scale and detail that most people probably think we're totally crazy for trying to do, and we may be, but if you don't dream, you don't ever achieve anything. So.
Wow, she still is respected.
And the funny thing is, when you do dream, look what happens, right? So a lot of other people have the same.
Yep. When you dream, you have nightmares.
Progress that we've made over the last. I mean, I'd like to say 2 years, but if you think about when we finished the funding,
I'd like a $250 million nightmare.
It's really not been 2 years of solid development. It's been a lot.
280
less
now, right?
It takes time to scale up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm just gonna look it up. Hold on.
Has been made considering the
scale
ambition.
Plus or minus
281.8.
Who's counting?
Impressive.
Who's counting after 250?
Look at other games they take. Destiny took 5 years plus. GTA 5 took 5 years plus. So I think our team's going. I'm just seeing where we're.
Yeah, almost at 2.6 million citizens.
Load up a lot of stuff.
5K to go. Or less than 5K to go.
Yeah. So I need to tap dance a bit more.
Melt down my Bitcoin and send it in.
But no, Austin is focusing. So the things they're focusing on is they're fleshing out the back end networking infrastructure that the whole persistent universe lives in. They're working on the large world, which also we're doing some support in.
Yeah, Coffee, you're
LA
right. We've come a long way, baby.
Shanghai, because we have another ex-Crytek engineer that wrote a whole sort of MMO system that's in CryEngine, and he's helping change us over for the large world. His name is Alan Chen, and he's also another incredible, talented programmer. And so we're building that. We're creating the environment, doing art direction for the overall planet side stuff, and designing the system.
Was it a
sort of the mission
prophecy of things to come?
You saw sort of a little bit of the beginning of the rough system editors and universe editor stuff, which sort of had very sort of rough graphic-y stuff, and I'm sure it's going to get more polished over time. But it's a tool that we use to build all the stuff. And so the bones are getting built there, and that is 100% the focus of the Austin studio now. Okay, we're ready now. So let's switch over to the computer feed. Let's go. You want to go?
What is this?
So what we're going to show
This is
you
the big
is
demo, I think.
kind of a little idea of what the gameplay is going to be like without the CryEngine streaming issues.
I remember this. This blew me away. I went out and bought the Connie after I saw this.
So, and by the way, it's just the beginning of it, really. So, but you know, we have it's the same. It's the multi-ship local physics grid stuff that's working. So, as the
More
same
things
stuff
changed,
drawn
more
together
things
out.
stay the same.
That's
So
the
you just
Mark
come
III.
out of
Remember
warp,
that version?
Outside Stanton.
When they wanted to show us how the ship would move, if you could walk around in it.
The ArcCorp planet. I can't remember which Stanton it is. One of the Stantons.
Remember that dining table back there?
Stanton 3, Stanton 4.
Yeah.
Dave Haddock was here. He'd be able to tell
The
me.
round doors.
Are you here, Dave? Not sure he is. He was up editing the opening montage, so I think he may actually be sleeping.
They got that ship filled up there.
But you know, as Paul said, and this is our cargo base that we have inside our
Yeah, that's all
constellation.
play stuff
As Paul
too.
said, you know, this is one of the things that we quite think is great, is that we can fly around in a whole environment and then work around in our ship while our ship's flying around. And the prototype we wanted to do was really sort of show you sort of a very early prototype in engine of
I want to say it's the
what it's
Andromeda.
going to be like when we land on
Oh,
the
it
planet.
is.
So, do we want
Yeah.
to?
Colossal was one of
permission
those
when you get a
the
chance?
Taurus.
Oh no. That's the Andromeda,
Right.
brother. That's the Mark III version
sit
of it.
down. Yeah, you can only ask for landing permission when you sit down.
We're on the Mark IV now.
ArcCorp Tower. This is commercial vessel Calypso requesting EDL assistance.
And this is back when his idea was that you would fly in on a path to
Audio
come
down,
in.
wasn't I heard
There
that?
was no this
Like
just
low.
flying in any old
Can you
way
pull up the
back
audio?
then.
Assuming navigation.
And I would have been fine with this one,
I thought this was amazing.
right? Now, I could imagine myself before two months saying, "Oh wow, this is cool. I should probably be coming back."
I want you to notice the monitors have multiple colors.
Look at the difference though, the monochromatic look to the city, you don't have a lot of color in it.
District C. Area 18. ArcCorp.
Originally you were going to have to fly a path in to do a landing.
Yeah, especially for big cities.
I was able to get a physical package for the toys when I'm back. So
Yeah, when they came out, I bought the Phoenix.
Landing complete. Thank you for using Pentatech EDL Assist.
Pentatech.
Enjoy your stay on ArcCorp.
oh, that table. Okay, I missed what you're talking about.
Yeah, remember that?
Oh.
Yeah, you remember that table now, yeah.
I remember people were trying to get to the area of where the constellation is.
Well, I got out there a zillion times. I got photos and everything posing around that sucker.
Right.
But you're right, it was a weird glitch to get out there. Yeah, it looks that way now, Kimmy, but it looked gorgeous back then, man. Always wish those doors opened up. Remember those doors didn't open? That was such a fake.
Right.
Trying to get through the doors, glitch through them.
You should glitch through them. I got to glitch through them one time.
Yep. Getting out of customs, trying to get in there.
Fake, it's a scam. Those doors don't open.
Yep, we never did see those doors open up.
Next.
I love this. I love the whole customs thing here. I can't wait till they kick this in where this works with bringing in contraband or whatever.
Stand by, starting scan.
I think this might have been it. This might have been a moment to make me back.
Colossal. Yep, definitely Colossal.
By entering Area 18, you agree to abide by all laws and regulations set by ArcCorp and the UEE. Any
carrying no widow on you.
Immediate prosecution.
Figure killed me out little bit.
You're clear to go. Please exit the checkpoint.
What's in the box, fool?
I remember the first time walking through the doors. Remember that?
I think this is it. When I saw that globe spinning.
That was it, huh?
That's probably it.
You were sold.
Yeah. Gotta bring the volume down a bit. Gotta be.
They emptied the bank, the piggy bank.
We just went through sort of kind of the idea would be you'd be flying in space.
To this day, I know I'm talking about Chris, but to this day, I still want a mini snow globe.
We'll do a lot
that
better
model
with
of
transitions
that globe.
down, but it's all going to be seamless. You can walk around, look around your ship as you land. You land, you get permission, and now we're sort of in the sort of main concourse area.
Yeah, we all got ran over Colossal. All the maniacs when they had nothing else to do.
Let's look at the other place before we
Killer buggies.
We actually have working. But basically, this is here where you would go. You would go to, buy a ship
everyone
or
went
buy
crazy
items,
coffee. You're right.
or
We
go
thought
to a
this was
bar
amazing.
to, get a new mission, or
it still is amazing for its time.
Oh yeah,
it was amazing. Do a black market deal or get a sort of slightly grey mission. And a lot of the planets will be very big. Like Earth and Terra will have lots of locations. Some will be smaller, like a...
Yeah, the med bay. I hate that we didn't respawn back in the med bay versus our rooms. I wish the med bay was active again.
I mean, this isn't just kind of FPS like audience. This is significantly more than you get on any...
Yeah, you're witnessing the birth of Rebecca, fastcart.
Sort of another level, I believe, 30 million polys at our high point, right? So that's a lot. Now we'll optimize it, but that's a hell of a lot running in.
You should look at the water.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously we're at very early stages.
Yeah.
So, like in terms of the AI and the cycles of people going around,
because it reflects the sky.
As you land
all the shift to the sky and stuff like that.
The different AI.
Yeah,
that was good stuff.
When they first did it, they faked it.
They'll be there based and they'll be going about.
When they first brought it out, I looked at a puddle and I saw a reflection of the moon, and then I looked in the sky and the sun was up there.
A lot of people going about their business.
Then I sent in a ticket. I'm like, dude, what's up?
Sort of planet that's sort of not doing so well, then you'll see graffiti and maybe there's more crime and there's not quite as many people. And
that's when I said
also
that they hadn't finished the reflector shaders yet.
NPC sort of
Colossal. This time we back
to
to
something we weren't originally going to do, but with the full FPS mechanics and system and the modular sort of procedural system that Tony's working on. And if you remember when we first introduced him, the first game job he had was he was the AI programmer on Ultimate 7. So he loves AI, so he's got this whole massive plan for the economy and how the AI is going to run around in that. And so all of that, this is just early, like placeholder people, but there'll be people going about. You'll be hearing what they.
It is amazing to see how they've expanded on the whole ArcCorp thing after seeing this.
AAA sort of
whole other section.
Open sandbox game.
You can see the elements that they kept and how they, developed them further.
But let's go into. So one example would go into a shop, Dumpers Depot. I think we've shown a little bit of before. It's a bit more fleshed out, but let's go inside. And Dumpers Depot is a place that you can go and sort of get stuff repaired, get some sort of second-hand used items and equipment. But this is the vision of Star Citizen. You're out in space, and you've got the high fidelity of your ships, and you get down on the planet, and you're running around in fidelity to the environment.
Hey,
characters running around.
Take a look around. Everything's for sale.
So we have.
I glitched my way back there in the back in the back where the laser thing was. When you get
So
back
we
there,
can't do
only
much
half
beyond
of the
this,
ship is
but
there.
soon we will. But this is
Yeah.
really to sort of show you the ambition and the scope and the level
Yeah,
of
I was going to say, I probably
detail
saw
that we
this and
want
was
to
like,
deliver
wow.
the whole universe. And we are
Yeah,
designing and
you never
building
see stuff
everything
like that
so that
in
we will be able
MMO.
to sort of
Leave
do
alone
stuff at
a
this
normal
level
single-player game.
on a lot of different planets. I mean, it involves some stuff that we'll be talking about going forward.
Because I was really
We have this
jonesing
thing
for a
called
sci-fi
modular
MMO back
that
then.
allows
Still
you to
am.
have different architecture types and put them together fairly quickly. And so it's sort of a pseudo, like partly designed.
Because I was sick and tired of like elves and dwarves and all that whatnot.
Piece that he was doing. And anyway, this was a combination of work by the Austin team and the Behavior team who built the ArcCorp landing environment.
Yep, that's right, Kimmy.
Depot.
ArcCorp was not necessarily the good
So I
guy.
hope you like that. And it's kind of. And thank you, Sean. And we'll optimize that more going forward. All right. That's what we're doing. I should have had that slide on earlier. All right. And so I thought at the end of this, we'd just sort of talk about the roadmap, just so you guys are aware. Dates are subject to change, just to let you guys know. But at the end of this year, we're planning on Arena Commander 1.0 with the features that we talked at. We are going to be showing the FPS.
I just saw what
module, the end of
Stark
this
has
month
just
at
said.
Australia.
What's funny, I still get frames like that in Area 18.
Yeah.
At the beginning of 2015, towards the beginning, we're going to do the FPS module that everyone gets, because there's a lot of other things that go into making sure that everyone can get it, and it has all the different maps and levels beyond sort of a sort of controlled demonstration of the features. Then the planet-side social module will be after that. Arena Commander 2.0, which will be the multi-crew ship combat. And that's the idea with Arena Commander, is we sort of use that as the test bed for all the space stuff that will go into the universe. So we'll add new game modes and missions to Arena Commander that will sort of simulate missions that may happen when you're in a multi-crew ship, or defend the Idris or attack the Idris, or a mission from making sure this cargo ship goes from point A to point B, and one team's trying to take the cargo ship out, another team's trying to defend it. So the Arena Commander for us is a test bed to try out game styles.
If you're wondering, the show has about 10 more minutes in the screen, in the video.
Squadron 42.
Tell your friends.
And so we haven't really, I mean, you saw a little bit of a peek of Squadron, like some of the scale when you saw that Shubin. And by the way, that was not textured, right? So just the UK guys won't let you know that was gray box. So it's going to look like a whole level, but the level of scale and detail in it. And I'm privy to a bunch of stuff that we haven't shown you guys yet. And Squadron 42 is a bit difficult because we don't really want to give away the story and everything.
You remember
but
how quickly they went from base to planet?
If I was making
like 10 seconds.
Wing Commander, like
I bet people wish
that
it
would
was
be
that
Squadron
quick
42,
to land
and
on the planet
maybe
now.
Squadron 42 is even a little more than that. So I have to say that the level of design and implementation on the missions, and in terms of flying, being down on the ground, different things, there's puzzles. It's crazy. It's like I would put Squadron 42 up against any other AAA sort of console title, just by itself. Now it's a huge amount of content. I believe that they're estimating something like 50
I'm gonna tell you, my
hours to make all
son-in-law
the way
is
through
a
the
big
story.
console player, especially
So
like Red Dead.
they're breaking it up into episodes. So think of it like a mini-series event. So that's why
GTA.
episode 1 will be the first one that we launch.
Loaned him my
and I think our
laptop
plan is to
and hooked
roll
it
them
up
out
and
in
put
sort
Star
of,
Citizen on for him so he could
3-month
play that.
increments until we've
Then
done
all his friends
5
on the other two
episodes,
games
and
said,
then
"Where are you, man?"
Squadron
Like, he's
42
been
is
playing
the whole
straight for
campaign
2
will be
weeks.
complete. And while we're doing that, we're
It
also
just took him right off the consoles.
expanding planet side to the persistent universe. So you'll be playing persistent universe
What kind of laptop do
you're
you have?
going through Squadron 42
It's a
in
Dell
the episodes, and when it's all done,
1750.
we'll kind of have the game done. But we'll never really be done because we're always going to be adding
XPS?
cool new
Yeah,
stuff
it's a
to
gaming
it.
laptop.
But that's the order that we're doing. So that's kind of the 2015 order and lineup. There's a lot of stuff that's in production. I mean, there's a lot more people.
Has a
obviously on
Thunderbolt
project now than
port,
there were 1
and
year
so
ago.
you can use an
And
external
so you're
GPU
going to
on it.
start to see the benefits and fruits of that in
So when
this
you're ready
coming
to
year.
game,
And,
boom, you plug it in.
I mean, I
drive
see a
the
little header
monitor.
when you guys
It's
are
got a
going to see
big
it.
60-inch TV,
Pretty
4K.
excited. I can't. This stuff I really want you guys to see and have fun with. So this is what you guys have done. So, because I mean, the one thing we say games about
on your
community,
desktop,
but it really is. I mean,
business.
we don't have a publisher, we don't have an investor, we only have a community that has come together to make this game, which is just a shared dream. And I thought, it would be interesting for you guys to sort of, to reflect. I mean, because what has been done in a relatively short time is, at the beginning, we had 7 citizens, which basically, I don't know if you know the story, but we were testing the site and we took the firewall down. And for, I don't know what it was just serendipity or something. There was a Reddit thread going on, whatever happened to, I think, Freelancer it was. And then someone looked up what I was doing, and then they saw that there was a registration for Robert Space Industries, and someone went to the site, and we'd actually taken the firewall down at that instant to test out the registering on the site. And so we
People
had
have been hardcore for Star
Citizen
Citizen
the web guys
since
at the
day
time going,
one.
Oh,
Are
yeah.
these some guys what's happening? And I don't know who they are. And then we figured out it was on the Reddit, and so and it was actually.
Figure out how to get
I
a
don't know
leak
what,
from
but,
a
that was
partial
one of
Earl.
those moments that it's just that's fate because of that.
Figure out how to
the
register
whispers
before they're
went
ready.
out, and then when we actually opened the website up, I think we had 10,000 people in the first day, which is pretty amazing. And I think it was partly because of that. That's testament to today's world and virality and Reddit and all these other amazing things. We obviously had no money. We're in a deficit. We'd spent a bunch doing the demo. There were 5. I wouldn't necessarily say 5 developers.
There
5
was a
people on the
time
team.
when
It was a
Star
very small
Citizen
team.
had
Ben
no
was
money.
part
Can you
of it.
imagine?
There was me. I mean, there was people helping out,
I
like
do.
Sean and Paul in their sort of spare time.
5 developers.
Dave Haddock was there, and Sandy was putting together the whole plan for the website and how we were going to roll it out, and the crowdfunding campaign, which I think it was a pretty good plan. So, and we had 3 ships model, which were done by TG Bot. And then obviously we did the campaign. It went well. 1 year later, we had 270,000 of you guys, which is pretty impressive, although not as impressive as we have now. We had 21 million, I think. I can't remember. I thought we hit 20 during CitizenCon last year, but I could be wrong. Maybe we hit 21. We had 90 people working on the game, although that was not in-house. That was, I think we had about 50 people in-house and about 40 contractors, or maybe about 40 in-house and 50 contractors, and we had 17 ships modeled. And then today we have 615,000 people that are registered on the site, 56 million in crowdfunding, 280 people working around the world. So if you take a think about it, you guys have given jobs to 280 people, which is pretty awesome. Especially, sometimes the game business goes down, sometimes it goes up. So
500
you guys are
developers.
helping the game business go up a little bit. So thank you very much. But no, just allow that many people to get to work on a game that they really love.
500
and are passionate
developers,
about.
understand.
I think if you talk to a lot of people working on Star Citizen, they'll tell you how much they just love working on the game and the process and doing it with all you guys. And yes, we have a lot of ships modeled, although we haven't shared them all with you. But that is a pretty amazing achievement, what we've done in a relatively short order of time. As a thank you, all this week, everybody can fly every ship in Arena Commander, irrelevant of what you've got. So thank you to such an amazing community.
Every ship. That's when they only had like how
And I
many
think
ships?
it's
Though?
appropriate to end with the
That's all
fact
5
that
trainers.
the game, what we're building together, is made possible by all you guys. As I mentioned at the very beginning, although if I get that back up, that is the mosaic with every one of the organizations that is part of the community right now, and it's pretty amazing. And I'm constantly amazed and humbled. So I would like to thank all the teams and everyone around the world that's working on Star Citizen. I want to thank everybody that has backed everyone that's part of the community. It's an amazing ride. It's only just beginning. I can't wait to see what you guys think and experience and enjoy of what we're going to do this next year and going forward. So I think that's the end of my presentation, but thank you all, and let's have a drink or two. By the way, I don't feel like I should do this. Let's get the. Can I get all the team members up here? Because the people that we've got here as team members should come up here. Because it would be nice if you got to actually see them. Because I shouldn't get all the applause because I'm just one guy on this thing. So come on, team members.
Did they do one this year?
I don't even remember.
I don't know. I don't know if they started celebrating the birthday in 2014 yet. Unless you're talking about your cake fast cart, maybe you're talking about the one for your birthday. Maybe that's the one you're thinking about.
They're camera shy.
No, my cake was in 2016.
And of course, there's only a small amount of people that we have. Coming up.
Yeah, I don't think they started doing the birthday celebration until after.
Yeah, I'm gonna come this way so we.
You know, one thing I will say about another group company, CCP, I do love the fact that they all, and I hate to say that, they all have CCP shirts on when they come out, which looks a little more, you know what I mean?
Uniform.
Yeah.
I was thinking something like that. But I mean, this is, you know,
oh, don't get
this
me
is
wrong.
fun too. It gives them all individuality.
Trust
shows
me,
them their laid back
I'm
company.
happy with this because otherwise people will be complaining that they're spending money buying shirts for their guys.
Small
so
representation of everyone working on the game. So,
yeah, they complain about everything.
I agree with
Yeah,
Aaron.
but
So I
this
can't
is an
say,
impromptu
okay,
call up too, so it wasn't like, hey,
on our side, we're going to clap you
company
guys. Thank you
Ford,
so much
but
for
now
supporting
that's
us.
true. It's much more
No,
organized.
they still don't wear the same shirts and stuff like that.
And now we should have a drink.
Whereas like Blizzard or CCP, like you said, they would. But
that's
then
not
again,
number
none
4
of
to
those
1.
go even crowdfunded.
All right, big time. Do it.
Look at that's as big as the team was back then. That's a.
Where's Toast?
Chris Smith walking down out front.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. You all officially survived the 2 hours CitizenCon from 2014. Fastcart, you got any takeaways? Anything in particular on?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, it was definitely that at the end of the presentation when they're landing on the planet. That got to be what sold me on becoming a backer. Just that presentation, that part of the presentation right there. Even though it's like, it wasn't buggy, but so much of the frame drops and stuff like that, I was still taken in by the atmosphere and the look and the style. And yeah, this was something I was looking for and hoping for back then, and still am.
Definitely. I remember, like I said, as soon as I saw that, I bought the Connie package. At that time, the Connie package was $275. You got like 16 different things that came with it. The soundtrack. Remember back then they used to package Squadron 42's game package and Star Citizen's game package.
When I first backed, I got the 315p and one of the lower packages, but then I melted those and bought a Connie Taurus physical package that came with all those 16 stuff inside of it, and I still have the Connie Taurus package.
Younique, anything stuck with you about this show?
Not so much that, you know, it was a lot of talking back then and they weren't showing a lot of content. I do enjoy looking at the back now and seeing how much better their production value is and the quality of the things that they're putting out now for shows. It's a huge contrast, and it's pretty amazing how far they've come.
That's a good point. And it grows. Like you said, as you watch it each year, you've seen how it's grown, especially when you go back this far. You definitely see the difference in it. Just so you guys know, the second Sunday of every month, we're doing one of these CitCons. So next month will be CitizenCon 2015, which was a very controversial CitizenCon because of, and I'll give you with the hint of why it was controversial. The set design was a big issue, and people said things about the set not understanding where it was being shot. If you want to tell me what the controversy was at the next show, we might have a giveaway prize for you. If you can tell me what the controversy was about 2015 that a lot of people raised a lot of sand about. Don't tell me today. If you know what it is, don't tell me this week. You got to tell me on the show next month when we do it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is for 2015, but 2016 I can probably tell you.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Cool. All right. So listen, we're going to do our giveaway. Thank you all again for hanging out with us. If you want to get in the giveaway, type !buggy. We're going to give away a Gray Cat buggy, 6 months of insurance. It's not a LTI, just so you guys will know. But because fastcart
no LTI,
buggies,
I'm out.
Yeah, no LTI. I know. But because is it Swears Jerkin? I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce your name correctly. It disappeared so quickly.
Have LTI?
But thank you for following. Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, well, you know what? They gave him away with LTI on this last one when they did this 10th celebration thing last. That was the first time since they came out. I think they went back and did a LTI. So we're gonna go ahead and give you guys another 15 seconds if you want to do !buggy, and then we're gonna do our, and we will see who the is. So, for me, in relation to this show, again, I agree with you, Fastcart. That presentation, even though it was only like maybe 12 or 15 minutes, it was a seller for me. When I saw that Connie come in and land, and of course we were hearing these rumors about no loading screens, that really stuck with me. So in light of the year before this, we had gotten the announcement about No Man's Sky coming out, and kind of hearing this competition going back and forth, because I think at E3 in 2013 they made the announcement about that. But this one just blew me away. The realism, this was amazing. And I thought the Connie was beautiful. Now when I look at the Connie, it's like, it looked okay, but compared to now.
Well,
but back then, I know, back then it was amazing. I was amazed.
No. I was gonna say, Connie Phoenix is still beautiful.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, absolutely. Well, all the Connies are great. I can't wait to see when the Taurus comes out, to be honest with you. I know a lot of people are waiting on it. Yeah, when the Taurus comes out, we'll have the final. All right, let's go ahead and roll it. Let's see who we get here for our winner. And that person is rolling. Sergeant Stackus. Sarge. Congratulations, Sarge. You are the winner. I hope he's still here. Yes, hit us in chat, Sarge. Let us know if you're still here. And if he is, I haven't seen anything yet. But Sarge, if you're here, you're the winner. Let's see. We're going to give you another 15 seconds and see if he pops up. And if he doesn't pop.
Yeah, I'm looking for the last time he posted.
Uh-oh, Sarge might have ducked out on us. He said the show's over with. I'm out of here. Let's see.
He posted around 20 minutes ago.
I know. Let me see if I see him here. Oh, yes, he's still here. It says he's here. I'm looking at the list on Stream Chat. Sarge, if you're here, hit us with a message.
Gotta type something in chat.
All right, we're going to count down. Give it to Nightbot. Standard says give it to Nightbot. All right, we're going to count down. 5 Sarge, 4 Sarge, 3 Sarge, 2 Sarge, 1. Oh, no response from the Sarge. He probably went to go get. Let's see if we can redo this again. Hold. Pops up before I do it. We'll do it again. Let's see what happens. Boom. Pramster, are you here? Pramster.
I think he just entered like 2 minutes ago.
Did he? Pramster, are you still here? Is that beer costume? Pramster. Pramster, are you here? Pramster, if Pramster's here. Uh-oh. Don't tell me Pramster's not here. Uh-oh.
You see him in chat?
Let's see. I gotta go look. Yes. It says he's here. Pramster. All right, Pramster. We're going to do the countdown. 5, Pramster.
Speak up, Pramster.
4, Pramster. 3, Pramster. 2, Pramster. 1, Pramster. Oh, another one who does not respond. Oh, no. All right, we're going to do one more roll, gang. One more roll. Let's see. Here we go. Hitting the roll. Oh.
He was just here.
Of all people, standard. Kev, are you still here? Standard, let's see if you're here. Hit us with a message if you're here. Standard. And he
just said
typed
next
a
name
second ago.
Montoya, so he's definitely here.
I know. He just sent a message a second ago. There he is.
There he is.
All right, Standard, send me your email in the DM. Direct message me in Twitch, your email that you use for Star Citizen, and we will get. So, anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. It was a very long night, but we appreciate all of you guys being here, especially on Mother's Day. Once again, happy Mother's Day to all the people out there. Those who follow us, we really appreciate you guys. If you're not following us, you really don't need it. Well, you can give it away if you want to give it away, Standard. But thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys next week. Our show next week, we're going to have another special guest on. Shiver, who was here earlier, is going to be joining us with Kimmy, and we're going to be doing a show on exploration and exploration ships. So you guys really, really want to be here next week. Really great conversation about that. And other than that, Fastcart, anything you want to say before we go?
You can listen to me on Miss Hart's 80s show on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern until 10 p.m. Eastern. Convert that to your local time zone. I have a Flight to Rhythm set. I haven't submitted it yet, but there will be a Flight to Rhythm set. Shiver has a BTM stream on Friday, right around 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And I'll be on Captain Table next Saturday at around 6 p.m. Eastern.
All right, yes, Mrs. Hart's.
That's everything.
Yeah, Mrs. Hart's be throwing the cuts down, so you all check them out for the 80s show. Her 80s show is really good. Younique, anything you want to share before you go?
Happy Mother's Day to everybody. I don't do a lot of these streams I'm very busy with photography and videos and stuff. But you can catch me in game. I'm Akima Pliskin, and also known as Younique. So I hope to see you in the game.
All right, gang. I'm GriffinGamingRPG. We'll see you guys again next week. Thanks again for hanging out with us. And we are going to send this raid to somebody. Let's see raid today. Let's.
Happy Mother's Day. I forgot to say that myself.
See who we got. Then went over here to Thale Crow. I'm going to go over to him. Looks like he might. All right, thank you guys again. We love you. Happy Mother's Day, and love, peace, and soul. We'll see you guys later.